Alright. Make sure everything's done. Happy Saturday, if anybody's already tuning in. I know this is impromptu, so I'm not expecting a lot of people, but still, I just wanted to stream, to be honest. I wanted to do something different after everything I've been doing for the past couple of weeks, so even more than 2 weeks, to be honest, ever since January 1st, essentially. But I'll get to that in a few minutes. Make sure everything's okay. Background noise is okay. Microphone is working, according to that anyway. In-game sounds, background music is off. Master volume, I think I'll turn it down a little bit more again. Performances are off because I don't want to get banned or get striked or one of the others. And finally, I just need to make sure the chat is up. Right, so hello, happy Saturday. So yeah, as I was saying a few minutes ago, I wasn't planning to stream at all, but to be honest, given everything I've been doing for the past few weeks, a couple of weeks at least, I just felt like doing something different because I've been doing kind of like, it's been a rotation now of just like do this, do this, do this, do this, and then repeat. So I decided I just wanted to stream, and I wanted to play FF14 because despite the fact that I've been logging into the game every day since January 1st, I haven't actually been playing it, which I'll get to in a few minutes. So I'm going to do a few tasks that are outstanding for me, stuff that I really should have got done ages ago, but to be honest, I never found the motivation to do so, so I thought streaming might be a chance to do it. And we'll have some conversations about a bunch of other stuff as well, just to pass the time, essentially. Hello there, Skywolf. Happy Saturday. So, as this was impromptu, I don't really have a set schedule of what I'm going to talk about or what I'm going to do, but there is a couple of things that are outstanding for me, in particular role quests. So I think I'm going to start doing a few of them as I start to warm up, and I'll tell you why. Where's role quest again? My one's in Thavnir, I think. So I don't know how many of you have done your role quests for Dawn Trail yet, but I started with the caster ones because I leveled as a Pictomancer, but I've been finding it very, 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 very difficult to maintain focus and actually do them. I don't know what it is, but the subject just does not grab my attention in the slightest. I mean, it doesn't help that I'm in an area that is probably my least favorite area in FF14. As lovely and as interesting as this area is, it does nothing for me, unfortunately. If we were in Garlemald, I'd probably be ecstatic, and I'm hoping one of these things is going to take me to Garlemald, to be perfectly honest. But the caster one, like, it's... I mean, it has the content there, it's just not grabbing my attention. And I've been avoiding it for months. Like, I've been picking at these quests every... Like, I'll come back every couple of months, do one of the quests, then leave it again for an extended period, and then come back and do it. So I need to motivate myself to do it. So I think I'm going to do it while I'm on stream, just to give me the kind of motivation to do it. Miss otherwise, like stuff that's not involved with the main story. There might be a little nugget here or there. It happened on the last role quest of Endwalker, so I'm assuming it would happen here. And I don't like the fact that I'm falling behind. So do you know what? Let's just get it sorted out, and it'll allow me to warm up as well. So Tepeke, let's see what you have to say. So she appears pleased with the blow dealt to the Justicar's crowd. Oh yeah, that's the... This is how little I remember it, because I just... long periods between these quests. It's that guy who borrowed an artifact, but he's apparently useless at combat in general. So he's using this thing, if I recall correctly, and he's just crap at it, I think. So let's see what she's saying. He's good to his word and has confessed the truth. Oh yeah, that's right. His father turned up recently. Okay. Even among the young, he's far fewer sing the Justicar's praises. That's right. He was looking for fame, wasn't he? The tide is turning in our favour at last, and the Radiant hosts are ready to tighten the net. Okay, please say this is nearly over. I've been examining stones left behind the Justicar. Noticed a pattern. They are all varieties of rocks commonly found near the site of each encounter. Okay, fair enough. I don't really have any thoughts, to be perfectly honest. I don't really want to think about this. The rocks weren't summoned, but moved. It's safe to say the artifact doesn't create rocks from nothing. The rocks weren't summoned, but moved. That seems like the most likely explanation. The perch of the apex likely lifts whatever stones are nearby and brings them crashing down to earth. Okay, so it uses whatever power he's using, uses the rocks around, levitates them, and then uses them as bullets, essentially. Okay, fair enough. Because I kind of remember his... Well, I kind of do and don't remember his magic, but... yeah, he moved rocks around, if I recall correctly. Not the most, like, incredible thing. Like, he merely has to go to a thaumaturge's guild to learn much better magic than that, to be perfectly honest. Okay, so his followers idolize him. Yeah, sure. Okay. The young of Radzatan, fair play to them, but I'm not really interested. This quest just does not grasp my attention. It's very rare for me not to read an entirety of a quest text. I am fairly I'm religious about it. That I'll read everything, but this quest is just not grabbing my attention and I'm not reading it. Like, I'm gonna skim over it now, but there's been no nuggets of lore, so it's not grabbing my attention yet. I'm hoping the end result of all this, which is already out or is about to come out if I recall correctly, is something big or something important. So we're going to Radzatan now, I think, are we? Yeah, we are. Okay. Alright, let's teleport to Radzatan. I'm not in the mood of flying with this quest. I'm not in the mood. Usually I manually navigate to a location, but not in this location, sorry. I mean, no offense to the people who designed this area, it just does not appeal to me. It hasn't since the beginning. I hated doing fates here as well, to be honest. Radzatan is a beautiful city. I love this city. I wandered around the city for hours thinking of ideas and multiple other things, so... Right. I have a sneaking feeling this music is not high enough. Alright, we'll see what that does. And I need to put the chat back. There we go. Okay. So, what the hell does she want me to do? Gather information from the youths of Radzatan. Fair enough. I like to talk to these guys. They all love Vitra and they all love other things, but apparently they like this weird Justicar guy as well, so... He's sulking for some reason. What's your boggle? He doesn't exactly look like a youth. He's probably a teenager or something. The Justicar gave me that invitation himself, only for something to snatch it right out of my hand. Okay, so he had an invitation stolen? That's interesting. Muttering about getting revenge. Alright, appreciate it. Thank you. Alright, number 2. There is a downcast youth. So this one's apparently put out as well. I'll venture as to why. Me and my friends didn't get one though. The grown-ups get angry if we talk about the Justicar, rightfully so. But guess what? I heard Zashal talking to him over by Mendra's Methane. Methane. Why did I say methane? With a big grin on his face too. Okay, so he's apparently over at the Mayhane. But we'll have a look at that now as well. The surly youth. Let's see what the surly youth has to say. I say he's probably in a reasonable mood, yeah? Here she's spreading rumors about the city savior. I won't let her harm his reputation any more than she already has, so I have nothing to say to her lapdog. Young one, do you know who the hell you're talking to? Lapdog, let's say, the youth never know who the heroes are. Do you know that? That's the youth. The youth, the youth, the youth. Okay. Forget you. Alright. I'm not gonna walk all the way over there. I am teleporting over. So she's over here. Or he's over here. Alright, so he's in the pub. Or the bar. Or whatever you call this thing. Zashal. Okay, what does Zashal have to do with this? I guess we're about to find out. It's true what they say. A fool and his gill are some parted. Wait, why do I recognize this guy? I knew it! That's that little fecker that sold Destinian the map! Still up to your damn tricks, are you? Yeah, we're not here to talk about that. We already found the vault. Thank you very much. I see you're as unscrupulous as ever. I'm not here about the map. No, I'm not here about the map. I don't give a shit about the map. I kind of want to punt him at the window. I'm not gonna lie. You're after the Justicar. Your Justicar is unusual, to say the least. Interesting enough. A young man came asking for a map to open the way to Uznair. I sold him every map I had, assuring him that one he needed was a... What a dick. Okay. I suppose he found it, and I heard the letters were handed down to contain a copy of the map. I dare say the young fellow was a Justicar himself, and he's planning to request a meeting in the Uznair canals. Interesting. Okay. So, what the hell does he want to do there? Fame and glory, I'm assuming. Radzatan isn't known for large-scale criminal organizations. Small-scale like you, though, yeah. Zashal, you're one of them, you dick. Okay, bandits. Causing the raid to end in failure. Like as not, they try to for the group. Followers Zelda score. Okay, fair enough. So, there's some unscrupulous ones around. It's a spot marked with a copied map, so somewhere in the shroud of the Samga. So does that answer your queries? Can I throw the Radiance host at him now? He's a dick. Damn, kind of wanted to punt him out the window. Okay. Perhaps you just stop bothering me now, dude. I'm gonna paint your face blue. Okay, where the hell are we going now? We're going to speak with Specky. I mean, she's a nice enough girl. I like her character. It's the Justicar I don't like. He's freaking boring. But I suppose he was written to be boring, to be honest. He's not a hero. He's not anyone special. He's a background character that's trying to be a front character. So, or what's the proper way of putting it? He's an extra trying to be the main character. Or he's an extra trying to be one of the main cast, essentially. Why am I going this way? Damn it. Right, let's see what she has to say. She has a nice enough design as well. I like the gear that she's using. It's all Endwalker gear, but still. But that's on purpose, I think. Yeah. Doesn't support it just... Oh, that's right. She has... That's Bosch's gear. Sorry, I forgot about that. Doesn't support the Justicar. I didn't seem surprised when I told them it was misdeeds, but they were reluctant to betray him. Sort of had no luck. I kind of had luck. Your investigative abilities never cease to amaze me. Fine. Okay. Use all cut to make the part of this journey. Yada yada yada. Shroud of the Shankar. Pangolic stand. Yada yada yada. I'm already falling asleep. This quest just is not gripping my attention. This has never happened to me before. I'll be perfectly blunt. It's not happened to me before. I can't remember any other time where a particular quest has just not held my attention. Side quest, role quest, job quest, class quest, they've all held my attention and I've been invested in them. This one just isn't latching onto me. I don't know what it is. Well, I lie. I kind of know what it is, but usually I can look past a bad character or characters. But I think it's just a mix of all the elements that's causing this one to be pretty annoying for me. I'm assuming the next one will probably be better if it's in a different setting. As I said, if it's in Garlemald, I think I'll be in a much better mood. Many of you are carrying a piece of parchment. Those must be the letters. Okay. Aspect follows clearly to avoid whether or not to try and approach them. Okay. So we have to go around looking for the people, I guess. So I guess they're looking for somebody here. That's what the letters are saying. Or I suppose we're spying on them, right? See, I'm not reading the quests. Alright, let's see what happens. She does rock Bosch's outfit well, have to say. I blend in, look, with the plant. Oh, they're all, it's like a bunch of Pokemon Go players, just like, okay, are we looking around for here? Oh god, I like his hair. Oh, you can clearly see me, come on. You follow the man from a safe distance. The objective down to... Oh, it's one of these. So we have to follow. Okay, so this will keep my... this will keep me occupied and it'll keep my attention. Time to follow the map. Okay, so he has a map as well. Alright, so he's going up the steps. Fair enough. I'm assuming this thing is fully X, Y, and Z. Alright, so I assume I'll wait here. He'll turn around. Predictable. They could have spiced it up a bit. I mean, this was perfectly predictable. But I suppose they had to make this easy, didn't they? Alright, so he's running off now, so I'm going to hide behind this tree. No, he's still going. I'm going to assume it's this rock. So let's hide behind this rock. No? He's still going? Okay. He's making a book for it, isn't he? Ooh. Tree. I'm going to have a tree. Alright. I'm assuming he's going to turn around. Come on. Turn around. I'll be honest, he doesn't look like a youth to me. But then again, Highlander's ages are really weird. It's using, obviously, an adult model. Oh. Oh. What's this? Oh, okay. That was easy enough. Alright. Alright, let's see what the monkeys do. Alright, so I remember this place all too well. When that Terminus punted the mother and that poor baby into the water. That was mad. Alright. Can I punt him into the water? I assume he's not doing that bad, so he's just like, he's just looking around, isn't he? Looking for the Justicar, my good man. Do you know where the Justicar is? I heard about the rumor she's spreading, but I had no idea she enlisted your aid. For a good reason. The Justicar saved me, you see. I was transporting goods for a local merchant who was too miserly to even hire proper escorts. Ferocious creature ambushed me, but my savior appeared from nowhere and saw off the beast. I owe him my life. Interesting. I wonder if that's before or after he took the artifact. I'm going back home. Here, you can have the map. I trust you'll take the measure of the Justicar and to share the truth with us all. Yeah, we will. We'll have a look around. He was nice enough. He's out looking for a good time, you know? Okay. Alright, so can we find the Justicar? Yeah, I kind of want to get this over and done with. Let's open the portal and confront... Oh! A portal? Wonder what that means. Oh, it's the... Yeah, it's Usnare, sorry. That's what it is. So it's like when you go searching for a map and then you open the portal. Okay, so they've all tried and failed. I'm assuming he's in there. Oh, these guys are in rough shape. They really shouldn't be here. Not in that starter of gear, anyway. Oh, and the Justicar's here, of course. Okay, can we kill him now? Nice close up. Oh, he's one of these, isn't he? Yeah, he is one of these. Stop this madness. Give us the artifact and we can all go home. And I can stop doing this quest. It was merely a guise I wore until I discovered my true self. Interesting. I am the Justicar. So long as I am the master hero of Razatan, I shall not suffer any to call me Verzan. You gonna fight us? But that is your name, isn't it? Yeah, kind of. A hero should take pride in their name. The game is up. We've exposed your true identity. Why don't you drop the act and try being a true hero? A hero should take pride in their name. Yeah. Despite the million titles we have, we're still proud of our own name and our original title. But he will shrink once more into the shadows of mundane obscurity or embark on the next chapter of his legend. He's a good orator, I will say that. Oh, helmet's coming off. Jesus, his hair is really unique. Let it be known that the Justicar is Verzan, and Verzan is the Justicar. That was easy. Okay. What were you saying? You unleash the perch of the apex upon your own followers. Oh, that's what those rocks are for. So, am I right to assume he tried using the artifact and he hit all these people with the rocks? Because they apparently had some darkness in their hearts. We all have darkness, dude. Alright, yeah, can I paint his face red now? Dude, you're not a freaking savior. Alright. See, this story's finally getting interesting now that we found the guy. Okay, so he's activating the artifact. Alright, so I'm assuming this thing is not powered by his own aether. It's powered by the aether. It's powered by the... Oh, this is going to be a golem, is it? It's powered by the aether of the artifact, I'm assuming. I mean, I don't think this guy has much etheric affinity. What? He's gone? She hit him in the face with the rock. Okay, this quest is finally getting interesting. See, I knew I liked her. Okay. I wasn't expecting that, to be honest. Huh? That's what I wanted to do. Are you guys okay? Gathered around us, made a grand speech. Claimed he was the hero that would drive back the flood of fiends threatening Tavia. What? Flood of... There's no flood of fiends. They're gone. Joseph going forward repaired his damaged reputation. The people would love him again. He became quite impassioned, in fact. I look... Yeah, Scott... It's like... I love how she was so surprised when she's like, shut up. And he's like, "Kuh," and she's like, oh, I actually hit him. Oh, hello. He acts like a god come to Grace Tavern here, but most people have grown wise to his tricks, including the Radiant Host. We stepped forward and told him as much, and they demanded to admit he's been pulling the wool over everyone's eyes. And naturally, he doesn't admit it. And we soon learned that the rumors of its powers were true and rocks started falling around us. Even those true believers were not spared. There was nowhere to run. The faces on them, look. I'll take a picture of them. They're like, ah! He was laughing. Yeah, this guy is beyond redemption in my opinion. I think we should just kill him and call it a day. Then again, no, we're not usually that gung-ho. They're all in rough shape. Final Fantasy V, I think, is it? Final Fantasy IV, sorry. Before I left Palkistan, I asked the resident host there to look out for another returning from the wilderness. Yeah, he doesn't have the ability to teleport around. I'm assuming he ran his ass out of here. And he's limping his way back to Palkistan then, I assume. Oh. Don't drown yourself. Aw, that's a nice smile. Alright. So, I assume we're leaving Usnare now. Let's see. Font of Maya. Yep. Alright. So, to pick a, what's... Everyone's returned to the care of the Radiant Host. As to those ruffians who meant to attack Verisan, it seems they had a history of violence for which they may soon answer. Several months... okay. Bunch of serious wounds. Let's just go track the guy down and call it a night, shall we? Come on. Where is he? Alright, he's... Come on, fat chocobo. Alright, I'm assuming this is where the quest ends and then we pick up another. Hey, Darkness. New Year's going rather well, to be honest. Not too bad, to be honest. Like, a lot of people are under the impression that 2025, although it's a matter of personal opinion, isn't it, that 2025 is not off to the best start. I can see why. A lot of the problems of 2024 followed us into 25, but as far as I go, not too bad. I've spent it doing most of my typical stuff, so there's been nothing really mad or interesting. Although the interesting stuff happens next month, so... let's see... It was just as father said, wasn't he? His so-called heroism is an empty charade, like a child playing at being a hero from their storybooks. Yep, wielding around a stick, calling themselves a swordsman. Okay. Alright. Sorry, I'm just speeding this up because I'm not interested. Ah, damn it. I forgot to... Well, I can't equip it. I don't have a caster at this level to equip. Never mind. Alright, so behind the helm. So we're at 98, so I'm assuming there's 2 more quests of this. God help me. Oh, Jesus. Okay. He wishes to share the content of a recent delivery with you. A recent delivery. Okay. He's been laying low since our last encounter. I'm sad to say, however, that my investigations uncovered little. Her mother sent her something. Okay. My father has finally awakened after the grievous wound dealt to him by Verzan. He's well enough to travel to Tuliolal, in fact, and may have already arrived. Okay, interesting. Are we going to go see him? Okay, so we're going back to Tuliolal. Alright, so context here, right? ethereal travel is already established. We know we can do that now that we can teleport across. But if you're thinking about it another way, she's like, I don't want to see my parents until I've accomplished my mission. So will you go halfway across the frickin' world to see my mother and father, please, and then come back? I'm like, yeah, sure. I'll go halfway around the world to see your mother and father. Sure, let's do that. Good seeing there's a live stream for me to actually just throw myself into, which will guide me to Leola, isn't there? Better be getting paid extra for this. I have so many quests I need to do in this city. Oh, I'm so far behind. As I said at the start of this stream, since January 1st, when I started making videos again after my couple of week break, I've been logging on to FF14 non-stop, but I haven't been playing. I spent all of my time in the Unending Journey and New Game Plus, researching and gathering scenes and screenshots for my upcoming video. I'll elaborate on my upcoming video in a few minutes though. I'm assuming that is... Oh, I think that's the custom deliveries, isn't it? I think that's the start of it. Well, we'll get to that. I'm not going to do that right now. Something else I need to do. I have a shopping list of things I need to do in this game. You know, I really should get to them. I'm assuming this is Mom. How are you, Ma? It looks like her. But I don't see Topeka with you. Did you come alone? Yeah. She sent me halfway across the world in order to get something from me. Oh, my letter arrived safely. Yes, it did. He barely stayed in one place since. He seems desperate to help Tobeke from a distance and wherever we can. He told me he was traveling to the Pyarionan plain in search of information. He assumed would be quite valuable. If you speak with him, he had been in the area. Where the hell is the Pyarionan? I'm assuming it's up north. I'm correct. Okay, so it's down south of them. Okay. Native American and Canadian words escape me. My wife is Native Canadian and I've encountered a lot of these names and these words and I cannot pronounce them for the frickin' life of me. So if I butcher them, I'm sorry in advance. But I've never been good at it. I could barely... I think the first times I pronounced Saskatchewan, I think I butchered it multiple times before I actually learned how to pronounce it properly. But that's neither here or there. So, Argus, how are you doing, my pup? So, let's see. Ants, and he got himself into trouble. Of course he did. What was it called again? I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. Oh god, I forgot to play. I really forgot how to play. Okay. Bye, Al. I like those guys. They're cool. Alright. How you doing, my guy? What the hell are you doing in the wilderness alone after everything you've been through? I'm assuming he looks like the wise elder, doesn't he? Okay, he doesn't know who we are, does he? I'm assuming he doesn't know who we are. Oh, okay. I'm assuming, is it possible he's wearing this because of an injury? Or is it just what he wears? I've never seen a facial outfit like that. Is that, like, do we have that to wear in the game? I'm not really an aficionado on headpieces because mine never changes. After the nations were unified, some left our village to build new homes in the city. Fair enough. I've sought them out to see if they know anything of use. Unfortunately, none could offer insights into the Trevor's magics, but one of them told me that owls lurked around this place, which you encountered, obviously. And since the Tural Vidral seal... Oh, that's right, there's a Tural Vidral sealed within it, okay. It was once an owl, okay. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. I'm assuming an owl that had something to do with Earth, because this thing is levitating rocks. I'm gonna assume the other role quests also have an elemental theme. The no-L native to these lands possesses the ability to hurl rocks, large or otherwise. Note that the Troll of Vidral gained his power following its metamorphosis. Makes sense, they do evolve. Okay, that you fought one didn't strike from frog said it watched me from afar with fear in its eyes, so... And it didn't finish you off either, so I just killed the thing that kind of showed mercy, didn't I? I was surprised how suddenly it descended upon me the moment I started approaching. Okay, never mind. It sensed danger and plans preemptively. Maybe else prefer to fight. It sensed danger and attacked preemptively. That sounds more like a thing an animal would do, especially if it's cornered. I don't think I pronounced any of the names I read in this expansion correctly. That's a good point, Darkness, to be honest. A lot of the names in the story take inspiration from North America and South America and the Americas, essentially. And most of them I can't pronounce, unfortunately. I glazed out. This quest is really not holding my attention. Okay, so according to your story, you can never use a hand its bearer is panicked. Okay, so it's depending on your mentality when you're using the artifact. Okay. When it does, I ask you and Tepe pay special attention to the circumstances leading to its activation. Okay. Can I not just knock the fricker out and just take it back, please? This is getting ridiculous. Like, I don't want to watch his mentality or watch what he does. I'm Brazilian and I can't pronounce them either. Fair enough. Nobody can pronounce these. I'd say only a select few people could probably pronounce all these things perfectly. Maybe if you live in an area where these names are common, you'd probably pronounce them properly. Certain ethnicity, maybe you pronounce them properly. I should ask my wife if she can pronounce them. Do you know that? I'll show her a few of these names and I'll ask her to pronounce them and see if she knows how to pronounce them. Oh, we're going back to Razatan. Okay, all right, fair enough. There we go. All right, don't get attacked by owls while I'm gone, will you? I think I'm just gonna do one more of these quests and probably leave it at that because it's really boring the hell out of me. It got a bit interesting with the rock, but Tepeke cannot carry the storyline on her own, unfortunately. He's shown his face in Razatan. Tell me about your journey. Okay, so he's in Razatan now. Okay, so can the Radiant Host just arrest the fricker now? Oh, okay. So the Radiant Hosts are here. I'm assuming they're just gonna look. Oh, he's outside Uznair again, isn't he? Yep, there he is. I gave you no such advice, you little... I was once the Justicar, but now you may call me Versan. I am Thavnir's protector, its savior, its hero. It already has multiple of those, it doesn't need you. That I was behind the catastrophe at the Uznair Canals. I am here to assure you. Yeah, it was you. How this guy teamed up with these criminals to get this freaking artifact in the first place is beyond me. Yeah, please lock him up. Just walk up there and lock him up. The two of you will be able to take this guy. That's true, yeah. They don't want to get anybody hurt. An arrow to the knee will just take care of the guy, though. I've proven myself worthy of being your savior. That's not how you become a savior or a hero or anything else. It's not about that. He's gotten this totally wrong. You read too many manga. Oh no, he's going to activate the artifact now, isn't he? I can protect you all better as your ruler. As the king of Razad. That's heresy, dude. You can't just declare yourself satrap. Are you fucking kidding me? You can't just do that in the middle of a city. Dude, you realize the city already has a ruler, right? And it's a giant freaking dragon, yeah? This guy's gone cuckoo. He's like literally drunk on his own little piece of power. He's a bit of a dodo, isn't he? A bit of a cuckoo. The road to greatness is ever paved with necessary sacrifices. You can't make an omelette without breaking a few eggs. Is that your mentality? Fucking hey. Okay. Okay, this is getting interesting now. You think you're better than Master Vitra? He bore the city and his people on his back while you look fit to collapse under the weight of your own armor. You're no leader, you're a damn joke. Good man. There you go. The voice of reason in the crowd. Can Vitra just come out and smite this guy? I mean, I know it's not in his character, but still. The Radiant Host should be surrounding this guy by now for just coming up and saying he wants to be the ruler and he'll be the ruler. Oh, here's his father. Okay, so this guy will set him straight. And the Radiant Host is here as well. Okay, so we got more of them. Yeah, see, look, there's 5 members of the host here and me. So, this guy's run out of places to go, I think. Do your worst, I dare you. It will only make me more powerful. Okay. He's cornered rat. Cornered rat, latch out. Don't do it. Oh no. Here we go. Okay, rocks. Stop walking! Oh god. Jesus Christ. Somebody shoot this guy! Seriously. Alright, so the guy just dropped rocks in the middle of the city. I'm sure even Vitra heard that. You can't just... Dude, I get it. You can't just leave him doing this shit in the middle of the city. You have to kill him. Come on. I've declared my intent to become the king of Rats and Hand. You can't just declare yourself like that. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. No, come on. Alright, I'm gonna be the voice of reason. Just let him outside the city and then I'll throw him off a cliff. He's not walking out of the city though. He's walking toward... He's walking towards, Megaduta. The Radiant Host has archers. I've seen them. There's mages as well. But I guess they're just... I guess they're right. I mean... It would cause harm, but... People were almost harmed already. It's interesting though, he's never actually harmed a person with these rocks. Well, he harmed the people in Usnar, but he didn't kill them. Perhaps he couldn't bear to look them in the eyes. Yeah, because they weren't buying it for a second, were they? He's gone. My son's gone mad. My son. He's gone cuckoo. Okay, so... Alright, from a lore perspective, there's no way Vitra didn't sense what the hell just happened. Right now he'd be going, something's going on in my city, find out what. Alright, how's Dad doing? You alright? He's committed himself to fermenting unrest within Radzat Hand. That's a freaking understatement. He declared that he's going to take down a member of the First Brood, which, yeah, good luck to him. Do you know what? I'd love if Vitra showed up in this. I'd love if he just showed up outside Megaduta, just going, I'm going to be the king of Radzat Hand. Vitra's like, nope. This nasty bucket surely made him a criminal in the eyes of the Radiant Hosts. Yeah, among other things. Okay. After Vincent called down the rocks, did you see his expression? I thought it peculiar and curious as to what his father saw in that face. Okay, so it's tied directly to his emotional state. Particular emotions. So it's rage that actually causes the artifact to activate. Even clad in his armor, he can't bear to be told no. Okay, so you tell him no, the artifact activates and he lashes out by throwing rocks. I'm assuming this guy threw a lot of rocks as a child, you know that? I'm assuming he got told no a lot and proceeded to break windows. Okay. Right, where are we going? We're going back to... Okay, so we're going to finish this quest and then... Do you know what? I'm going to finish this quest because I'm not coming back in a month's time to finish this quest because I just want to get it out of the way. Oh, thanks, Irene. Nice to see you. Happy Saturday. Hope your Saturday's going well. Alright. Tebeke, what have you got to say? I'd like to hear about your journey to Toral. Yeah, he had some things to share, which would have actually been good to know a few minutes ago. Okay. I'm not reading any of this. I already get the gist of it. I don't want to know. This quest just... I've said this 10 times now. It's just not holding my attention. I never do this. I never click through quests like this, especially when I've never read them before. It's like being in school and you're forced to write something you'd have zero interest in. You're gonna pentamelt soon? Good luck with that. Oh, is that right? The new crafting gear actually comes out. Or is there new crafting gear with 7.16, is it? Or did it already come out? I don't do much high level crafting myself, so I'm not really sure. She's ready to tear down a false hero. And our reward is materia. Yay! Stuff that we get from one dungeon. Oh, I like your glamour, miss. Yeah, let's finish this. I wanna compliment her glamour and have a better look at it. Come on, let me go. Let's have a look at this glamour. It is... Oh crap. Love your glam. People already know this. I love complimenting people when they have good glams. Alright, my big bag of trees. Oh god. Look where he is. He's at the friggin' stone mine. This is literally the worst place. He went here on purpose. You know, it's a shame this place never featured more prominently. Because according to lore, as I recall correctly, the first dancers of the, dancing's always been around, but when the dancer job arts were born, like the Creeks dance, it was developed here and performed here. I would like that place to feature more prominently, but we're not going to get more dance requests, of course. But could be a good stage for an event, you know? Player events as well. I'll talk about player events in a minute, but for now I just want to get this quest out of the way and then I'll talk about something else. But I just really want to get this out of the way. This has been, like, ever since the first few weeks of Dawn Trail. I started this quest and I've just picked at it because I've had zero interest in it. Alright, so there's gonna be a duty. Okay, good. Alright, so we're surrounded by rocks. Why did we walk into this area? Now we're somewhere totally different. I recognize the place. This is right before we fight Rubicante. So we're going to be fighting there. I was wondering if they are ever going to reuse that area. And here he is. We're surrounded by rocks still, so still a nice place to select. Let's try some different music. He wants to use the that? Are you serious? I love that look in her face. I'm hoping this new pulse doesn't get with the video taken down or a copyright strike. I don't think it will. It's a live stream and it's FFXIV, so I think it should be okay. Alright, stolen power deludes you. Come on, seriously, get to it. I want to kill this guy already. I kind of want Vitra just to fly by at the end, just go, I heard you challenged me. I accept. And he's not using it. Interesting. Berzan the Deceiver. That he is. Okay, let's fight. Alright. I finally get to warm up now. I haven't used my combat rotation ever since that owl, but before that, it's been a few weeks. Let's see if I still remember how to play Picto. Or at least my way to play Picto. I think I lost a step in the rotation there. God. He's throwing a fair enough rocks at us now, to be honest. Oh, he's summoned marbles. I'm still in it. I'm still in it. Oh, chew. Throw some more rocks at us, please. Oh, there he goes. Don't you ever shut up. Yeah, good point. Oh, he lost his armor. My armor! My armor! Oh, he's gonna be pissed now, isn't he? Oh, I missed a step there. Dang it. You're not really making this very hard, dude. Am I throwing something else at us, please? Not the frickin' Ochus again. Oh. I think he'd have a better chance of being a honeybee than a hero. Also, this song is pretty fire. Would you stop chatting and let us kill you? Okay, she... Can I hit him now? Please? Let me do it. Come on, let me do it. Come on, please, let me do it. Oh, there it is. Can I destroy it? Oh, oh shit. Oh. 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 Is that good? Oh, that was easy enough. The honeybee is done. Great sound. The new pulse is really good. Alright, so he's done, yeah? A hero never fails. Dude, you weren't even a side card. You're hardly a side card. Dude, you're in your pants right now. Well, he's no longer a threat now without the artifact, so... Let me guess. Rock? Rock? Please say rock. Yes! Rock! Well, he's dead. Oh, that was funny. Maybe the artifact summoned that. Okay. Maybe the Terrell Vidral got pissed off about it. Okay. Maybe it does have a sense of sentience still. That look on our face is like, huh? I can guarantee I'm gonna get like at least a warning off YouTube about this music. Alright, so the quest ended on his eyes are still freaking rolling. The quest ended on a funny note, I will admit. So it started off pretty horribly, to be honest. Alright, send this guy to jail, please. So let's count his charges. So endangering civilians, theft, threats against the leadership regime of Radzatan in public. So I assume he's going to be doing some time. I mean, everybody's welcome to their opinion, but you can't just go saying shit like that in the middle of Radzatan. Alright, so she has the artifact back, so I assume she's gone home now. And then at some point, I can do the next one, which I'm assuming is going to be my healer one next. And hopefully that takes me to Garlemald or something. I think it's just this map just doesn't do it for me. That was hard fought, but we made it through. Bears down the responsibility of the Radiant host now. I must return home and bring the good tidings to my brother and father. There are many others I must thank. In the meantime, can I count on you meet my family in Tulio, one final farewell? My parents will be surely glad to see you again. Sure. I'm assuming we're going to see her again then with the role quest that involves all the other ones. So let's go see Mama and see what Mama has to say. So yeah, it didn't end too badly. But I'm hoping for much better with the others. I kind of want to check what that quest is afterwards, but I'm not in a hurry. Actually, you know what? It's right there. Let me just check what it is real quick. Oh, this must be the custom deliveries. The railroad employee. Yeah, I guess that's what that is. What's this one then? I guess I'm just well behind. Maybe this is crafting or something. Oh, it's the Pelu Pelu. Oh, the Pelu Pelu got new quests, didn't they? Okay, I'll have to check that out at some point. You're in instance area Tuliolal 1. Does Tuliolal still have instance areas? It's probably the only place left in Dawntrail that has instance areas. Alright, they're both here. Yeah, she's fine. We got your artifact back. So, we're all done on that front. Oh, that was quick. Yep, you couldn't have done it without us, of course not. On behalf of our whole village, I thank you for guiding Tebeke in her quest, Wyrm. Yeah, you're welcome. So, yeah, or throw it to the bottom of the sea, I think is probably the best thing. Once I return to the village, I want to tell everyone what happened to Thapnir. They need to know what the treasure is capable of, or we risk forgetting once again. That's a good point. Yeah, locking it away and forgetting about it is what got you into this mess in the first place. Civilizations. Sorry, it's just such a good song. Oh, I'm gonna get banned. At least I'll go down bopping. Agreed, Darkness. Agreed. Especially the fact that they remix it like this is really good. But even the original Civilizations is really good. I recall when I was making my video about the quest chain there, I listened to it endlessly. Of course I had to. I was in the area for a while having to research it. Alright, so she's going to be the guardian of the Apex. Well, I'm assuming we're going to see her again once all of these quests are wrapped up. But I'm going to have to do them all first before we can do that. And I can't even do them all because I haven't leveled a melee to level 100 yet. So I need to do that first. I think I'm just missing a melee now that I think about it. Because I have a tank, I have a melee. I don't have a ranged... physical range, sorry. So I need to level a physical range and I need to level a melee, which is likely means it's going to be my samurai and my dancer. Alright, so that quest is done. So I'm glad that's done, to be honest. Alright, so there's 4 more. I'm assuming that's the tank one. Okay. That's the healer one. Oh, I can, yeah, I can do it at level 90, can't I? Because I have the samurai. Okay. I'm the same, Darkness, to be honest. We do it all the time. We turn on the radio and it just starts taking random stuff from YouTube. I don't think I'm going to do any leveling yet because I don't want to bore anybody, to be honest. There's nothing more boring than watching somebody else level. So I'll save that for another occasion, I think. But I think I'll go off topic for a second now that I'm talking about videos. I actually have my channel open here. So let me reflect. Let's reflect on the last year, right? So let's pause that music and go back to the other one. So yeah, let's do a bit of reflection for a second. Let's reflect on the last year of content that I made, or roughly the last year. So I think it's somewhere around here. No, sorry, I lie, it's here. It was around this time last year that I released this video, which was the rise and fall of the Crystal Braves. I remember that because I was halfway into making it when Christmas came and my mother passed away. And finishing this video was actually my way of just distracting myself. And I really wanted to finish it. So I finished it. I think, honestly, I think it was the day after the funeral that I just decided to just up and finish it and then just get it done. I was halfway into editing when I did it. I'm pretty proud of this video, to be perfectly honest. It was a pretty good video. It's got plenty of content. Acting as the Scion's eyes, ears, and if need. It's got plenty of content about the Crystal Braves. Pretty much covered everything that I wanted to cover in regards to the Crystal Braves, so it wasn't a bad video. What's next after that then? The Archons of Charlene. That was a good video to make as well. I enjoyed making that video. Explaining what an Archon is, how an Archon becomes an Archon in the first place, and... Okay, so I don't have it loaded as premium, unfortunately. Primarily because I just don't want to give away what I'm working on at the moment. Okay, so what was the other video? Papalimo, the famous people. I really enjoyed making this one. This one was a very good video. Papalimo was a favorite character of mine. I think I dragged out this video a bit too much. I probably could have done it in 20 minutes, but I dragged it out to 30. To be fair, I wanted to do him justice, and I think I did do him justice now, to be perfectly fair. This is one of my smaller videos, so the flags and standards of FFXIV. A rather unusual video, to be honest. So, it's primarily just going over... Freaking ads, I hate ads. This is why I have YouTube Premium. So I don't have to listen to these damn things. This was a relatively straightforward video. It's literally just what the icons are and what they mean, what the history is behind them. And FF14 lore is detailed enough that every flag and every standard has its own set of lore about it. So I found that video to be nice as well. This video got a lot of attention though. Thanks, Darkness. I appreciate that now, to be honest. That's what I wanted. Like, I wanted, like, if somebody's like, what does an Archon mark mean, or how does somebody become an Archon, or what's an Archon? So if I type in here, what's an Archon? My video comes up. Or FF14 Archon. My video comes up. So that's what I wanted. I wanted to answer that question. I wanted it to be like, my channel's as much a knowledge base as it is anything else. So I wanted it to be an answer to that question. So if somebody's going, what's an Archon? There you go. You found a video on what the Archon is. The history of the first reflection was an interesting video as well. I enjoyed making this one. This video was a lot of me experimenting with different sound effects and amplifying sounds and lowering the sounds.
From those that settled in
and
the
it was when I slightly started to change my editing style as well.
Key to its rise was also the key.
Trying to make the images make sense going into one to the next to the next, like this one for example was
Echo. Because of these traits, she became full remains, which would fall soon after. Stretched from the northern.
I remember actually I took a lot of screenshots in order to make this video. I was standing in that area for a long time taking these sort of screenshots, and particularly these sort of screenshots. So I was in this area for a long time taking pictures from every angle. I probably took 10 pictures of this guy at different angles just to see which one would work out. And I ended up using one of them and it was for like 5 seconds. But the history of the first reflection was good because it allowed me to learn a lot about the history of the first reflection as well. So it was a pretty good video now, to be perfectly honest. Someone pointed this one out to me as well. I completely forgot. I'll admit, when I was making this video, it's probably down here actually. Somebody pointed it out to me. The first album career is someone's painting Grand Cosmos dungeon. And I was like, I completely forgot about that dungeon. I completely forgot it existed, to be perfectly honest. So I probably could have gone there and gotten some much better screenshots. And I was just like, okay, that's a fail, but it's all it is. And then this one, this is the last story recap video I made. And to be honest,
none of this will help. Moisturize.
Go away. I have no intention of making any more story recap videos. They don't tend to generate a lot of interest. They're pretty quick for me to make. They're not that hard to make, to be perfectly honest. I do spice them up. I don't just record the scenes and then just upload them from there. I add a bit of context. In particular, I change the music. So, for example, when you're looking at this scene here. So, this is not the music that normally plays at this scene. But it was the music I felt actually chimed well with this scene. So, that was my primary reason for playing it in the first place. And I really enjoyed this scene, to be perfectly honest. I liked what I did with it. I did a few subtle changes. In particular, the music ramps up in both speed and volume as it goes on. It's very subtle, in particular with the speed. So it started off a little slow, then it ramped up a tiny little bit. Then when it goes to the scene on the 13th, it goes up a bit, and then when it shoots the laser, it goes up to full volume and its normal speed. So, to be honest, I was pretty proud of that video. Like, despite the fact that it's just a recap video, I was pretty proud of it because I learned a bunch of new tricks about it. But you can probably hear it now, watch. So there was a lot of little subtle things that went into this video, in particular making the music match what was going on screen.
You can do it, Zero. I believe.
So the laser shooting, for example. I love this scene. I really love the scene. Combined with this music, I really love it. I'm particularly proud of that video, to be honest. Not many people saw it, but I was very proud of it. This was a random one for me as well, the Lore of the Sultan Tree. This was originally planned to be a short. So I originally planned to make a short about it until I realized there was actually a lot more to the subject of the Sultan Tree that I could fit in a short video. And I wanted to do it as proper justice, to be honest. So I decided to make it
under the shade on our sassy
a full video in order to explain exactly what the Sultan Tree is. It's a 6-minute, 30-second video about a tree. I'm not going to lie. I add a bunch of context into it regarding the nations and its origins and what it means to the royal family of Ul. But it was a video I was proud of, to be honest. It's probably my lowest viewed video, but I was proud of it, to be honest. I never make videos like this, or I try not to. So I made this primarily because it was literally a few hours before the idea came to me, and I was like, wait, this makes a whole lot of sense. I need to say this because my head's going to explode. And I think I said that in the video as well. So I made it within just a couple of hours, and it kind of shows it's pretty raw, to be honest.
Whatever floats your boat.
But I still like the idea of like the theory. Of course, it was debunked, but I still am kind of hoping Princess Selena will show up one day. Then I made this video primarily because Cerulean was on its way in Dawntrail, and unfortunately, Cerulean ended up just being a thing in the background and never really amounted to anything. That might change with the custom deliveries that are coming in because of the area it's in, so it might get more of a focus. But in the end, it's a video of what is and Cerulean. So if someone ever looks up FF14 Cerulean, my video pops up. Somebody else's video pops up. So that's what I wanted. I wanted to answer a question. So if anybody ever wonders what Cerulean is, there you go. Then my Dawntrail journey. It was probably like 10 times the length in total footage. I streamlined it down to 9 hours and 21 minutes. My friends were all like, why did you upload it all as one video? You could have made it like 10 videos. And to be honest, they were right. I could have made 10 videos of 1 hour apiece. And thinking about it in that context, it might have been the better thing to do, because looking at a 9-hour video like that, you're going to be like, no, I'm not going to watch that. But to be honest, as much as I uploaded it for everybody to watch, I uploaded it for my own benefit, because I like to be able to go back on my own experiences like that and be able to just watch them, see how I felt at that particular moment. So this video, I'll be perfectly frank, probably like 100 of those views are probably mine, because I go back on it every once in a while to see how I felt at about a particular point in time. So, and I did it again with the Arcadian. I'll probably do another video like this when 7.2 comes, just as a cap to that, because I've started a kind of story trend with that. So I'll finish off the Arcadian at least, just to make it all line up in my channel, just to have all three. My most popular video last year definitely was comparing Alexandria in FF14 to Final Fantasy IX. I felt the video turned out very well, although I will admit I missed a couple of things. There was a couple of extra bits that people pointed out to me, but other than that, people actually had a very good reception.
This is my first Dawntrail video since its launch, so
yeah. And people were still yelling at, people were still yelling at me about spoilers, I think, about in this regard. Just like, why did you spoil it? I'm just like,
please, I am not joking. This is my first Dawntrail video since its launch, so major spoilers incoming.
I am no longer to blame at this point. I get it. Putting the title of Alexandria in the title is a spoiler. It wasn't a major one, but it was there nonetheless. But I'll be fair, I waited a few weeks in order to release that video, so I did wait. I'll be fair, like other people probably release these videos right away. I waited a good while. So I tried, at least. And I proceeded to make 3 theory videos after that, one after the other. These 3 theory videos got some good traction as well. I'm particularly proud of this, to be honest, this logo. I should have it on my computer here somewhere. Give me a sec. I still remember when I thought of that, I was like, wait, that's genius. I need to do that. Let's see. Where's my thumbnails? Thumbnails from done. Okay. Unlost Worlds. That's the one. There we go. So that's the thumbnail I made for... And I decided to use a spin on the Lost World Jurassic Park, the second Jurassic Park movie. I like how it turned out, to be perfectly honest. Like, the text and all, like, I just downloaded the font and made it from that. The Chocobo in particular, I wanted to add in as well, so I cropped out a particular Chocobo image. I can't remember which one I cropped out in order to make that. And I added some shrubbery and stuff like that at the bottom as well. I think that's a shrubbery that came as part of the logo. And I added myself into it as well. So this is probably something that was missed, that I just put myself in the corner just as a silhouette. Just to see. I wanted to see if anybody would point it out, but I think it was just so small that you wouldn't be able to realize it. I mean, look, it's minuscule. But this was about which reflection, and I was actually correct. I gave some ideas about what reflection could be, but I was able to guess the correct reflection. The key in ASM. I think this video is still valid as well. Made 5 months ago, but the theory is still valid because they're not going to revisit the key until at least 7.3, I think. So, and then I had this live stream I made regarding the crown, so I decided to upload that as a theory video as well. And I still kind of subscribe to the theory. I think I'll go more into it as soon as 7.2 was announced. I think I'll make another theory video or live stream to go over the ideas that I have now in that regard. I just realized there's no music playing. Then my last 4 videos here. This one I'm proud of. Anatomy of a Cutscene. So this is based on a different series of videos, I think, on YouTube called Anatomy of a Scene, which goes over famous scenes in movies. I think I saw it in my recommended one day regarding a particular classic, cult classic video. So I decided, do you know what, I'll make one for FF14. And when I thought about infamous cutscenes, this one jumped out at me right away because I could still remember like I saw it yesterday. It was a very impactful cutscene, both for what happened in the cutscene, but what was supposed to happen directly afterwards, which was the 8th number calamity. So it was a video I was particularly proud of making. Jesus, is that? Remind me to just do this as premium next time. But I was very proud of that. It didn't get much traction, but still. My videos rarely get a lot of views, to be perfectly honest. It's probably something I need to look at, but to be honest, I've always stuck to the idea that as long as one person watches my video and enjoys it, then it was a success rather. So a lot of people enjoyed that video. So that video, and all my videos, to be honest, have been successes because at least one person enjoys them, and more than that, dozens of people have enjoyed my videos. So I'm proud of that. I'm particularly proud of this one, the harshest region on Aetheris, which is going over the burn. I tried something else with this one. This is when I started to venture into trying to add humor into the video. I can remember when I made this video, when I was scripting this video first, actually. So I scripted the entire video. I polished it up. The script was ready for recording. However, something about it just seemed off. It felt a bit dry. It felt like I was just talking about the subject. And I felt something was missing. And then I realized maybe I should just try and add some humor. But I'm perfectly aware I'm not a funny person. I'm not very humorous. I'm not very good at coming up with jokes. So I decided to just try it a little bit and add little tiny bits of jokes and humor into the subject just to try and just kind of like speed things up, slow things down, and just keep it interesting, essentially. So there wasn't an overbearing amount either. Like, I couldn't think of that many jokes, to be perfectly honest. But I decided to add a few jokes in just to try and essentially spice it up as much as I could. YouTube added its own... I should have added my own chapters into it, because it tried to add its own chapters. The Garian Throne, the Garian Legions, the Garian Empire. Oh god, it can't get my accent. The Garian Empire. But I was fairly proud of the video, to be honest. I still am. I'm very proud of it, actually, now that I think about it.
Look the same as it does today. A modern Garlean airship can fly over
the humor I put into it as well. Like,
Emperor Solus instead
in this scene here, this scene didn't exist in the original script. So I decided this was the first little kind of joke I'd put into the video. And it turned out rather well.
Sir, this isn't working out. Maybe we should stop. No. Forward. Why don't we follow the other legions through Dalmasca? Then we can march east to Nagsia. No. Keep going. Do it. By this point, the Garlean soldiers were fed up.
They ain't paying us enough for this, man.
I don't know how that came. I don't know how that came to me. I think it was the fact that I watched Aliens a few weeks before, and I can remember the crew waking up and him saying that line as soon as he woke up from cryostasis. So I decided to put it in for that reason. As you can notice, it's just like cropped around the characters. So I could have just done a proper Photoshop of them, but I decided, you know what, I'm going to keep it as raw as possible. And I just decided to do clip, and I clipped around the entire character just to make it look like that. And I did that in like 5 seconds. And it looks like that as well from this perspective. I took pictures of a bunch of Garleans in Mordona at Castrum Sentry and just put it in the video.
Don't like sand.
But I've tried to put in jokes like this as well,
It's coarse
just to kind of lighten the video up, and I think I succeeded.
and it gets everywhere.
Emperor Solus, however, was not fazed in the slightest. But his entire campaign was...
It's all part of the plan.
When they got far enough,
I am a generous god. This is based on a joke that my friend made when we were doing maps years ago. It's still stuck with me. I'm just like, I think we were changing the music or something when we were looking for a map, and he's like, I am a generous god, and we're all cracking our heads laughing. And it's just, that line has stuck with me ever since.
he would have them begin their fierce, and the
But
Legion...
I really enjoyed this video. So I added a bunch of humor in, alongside the theories, alongside the actual lore. And I'm happy with how it turned out, because I explored absolutely everything regarding the subject. I don't think there was anything I missed, and I hope they revisit the subject of the burn in the future. This one, I was very proud of as well, and I still am. I'm still proud of this video.
Being able to do the sport I love, that's what's in it for me.
Blah, blah, blah. Yay. Yeah, so A Fate Worse Than Death. I released this a few days before Halloween, actually. It was my plan to make a Halloween video, but I decided I'll make a particular
part of the
Halloween
story from
video
the beginning, and what
based
now
on a
we
different
understand is not
subject.
the end for those who die.
So
Some...
yeah, not a problem, JT. I do lore research every day. Yeah, so this scene is pretty infamous. I think we all remember this scene. I think I mentioned it in the video as well. So I first heard about the scene. I first heard about this scene in particular when we started Shadowbringers. I started as a dancer, so I had to level up on day one, and I spent the entirety of day one leveling my dancer. So I got my dancer leveled exactly as how I wanted it, and then I played the rest of Shadowbringers on day 2 and encountered this scene on day 2. But as I was leveling in the Asm step, I kept seeing people yelling in particular link shots, just go, no, Square Enix, why? I think I remember my friend Elty just go, no, why? And I'm just like, what the hell is happening? And people are yelling into the link shot as well, no spoilers. And I'm like, I'm turning the link shots off. I do not want to be spoiled. But it was with me for the rest of the day then, just going, what the hell happened? That people are yelling constantly, no, why, no. And apparently the spoiler channel in the FFXIV Discord was lighting up as well. I wasn't touching it with a barge pole. And then when the scene came, I was shocked. I was like, my
the
god.
only words and responses they will give are incoherent.
But I was happy with this video because I explored the entirety of what happens to particular people. And essentially this video of 8 minutes and 42 seconds long is based upon a couple of paragraphs located in the Eorzean Encyclopedia Volume 3 about the exact symptoms and everything that happens from getting stage 1 to stage 5. But I felt like it was a fascinating subject to cover. It was something somebody could have read on a wiki in less than 30 seconds. But I decided for a Halloween thing, a fate worse than death. And when I thought about a fate worse than death, I was like, yeah, that's definitely a fate worse than death. There's other fates as well. There's what happens if a void send actually incapacitates you. What's going to happen to you? That was a video I planned to make, and maybe I will make it next year. Like, what happens, for example, say we're fighting a void sent and we get defeated by the void sent. What exactly happens to a person after they're defeated by a void sent? It ain't pretty. It ain't pretty. You don't want to get knocked down by a void sent because your soul is going bye-bye. But yeah, that's another fate worse than death because your soul's getting eaten. There's no afterlife for you if you get eaten. But yeah, I was very proud of that video. The thumbnail in particular, I paid a lot of attention to it as well, just to make it kind of like, I kind of wanted to make the two faces line up together halfway through the screen, but I decided to just have her looking over her shoulder while she was looking that way, and it kind of worked out. I like the way that thumbnail worked out. I like this one as well though. And then my last video, which I released just before Christmas, I think, was the early eras of Aetheris. I enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making this video because it's a subject I was, and still am, very interested in. It explores the time from the Sundering all the way to the establishment of the Allegan Empire. And it's an era that we don't hear about in game. So the stuff that I'm talking about in this video, I'd say 80% of this stuff is not mentioned in game. So these eras are never really mentioned. They're mentioned in passing in some pieces of dialogue, but for the rest of it, it's the Eorzean Encyclopedia. And it's the encyclopedia from years ago, so some of this might have been retconned as well, but they never really touch on this content. So I enjoyed making this video for that purpose, to be able to explore these sort of eras with people who may not have understood exactly what they were. Like, most people didn't understand what the first Umbral era was. This is the era right after the Sundering.
In this chaos, the Mughals had nowhere to hide, and although they could,
I still don't get this. I remember when this occurred to me when I was recording these Mughals dancing around. I'm just like, I'm still curious. How does he put the hat on? I mean, look, his palm is there and the hat's on. So how does he put the hat on? My only assumption is the hat opens up and clips around. Or it's just magic. It's on there because of magic. Magic is the answer. Why does that character fly? Magic. Why is that character immortal? Magic. There you go. But it's a video I enjoyed. It took a lot to actually research this video as well. So it was primarily based on the reading I did of the Eorzean Encyclopedia. I used that as a base. And then I developed it from the knowledge in game that we got in A Realm Reborn and beyond A Realm Reborn. But there are interesting eras to actually acknowledge as well. Like, I had to use a lot of creativity to get pictures for those things. It was hard to represent those eras when none of them are represented in game. So I had to represent them with pictures from the actual game. It's from in-game.
these people began to wander the land and grow,
Yeah, like,
hunting game and gathering food. It wouldn't take them very long to start fashioning tools. Like,
I couldn't find a picture of a pair of tools, to be honest. I suppose I could have looked harder, but I decided to just be lazy and use the watering can.
an evolution of their primitive hunting weapons. With the hoe and shovel came the secrets of agriculture and the growth of food. It was these innovations that allowed mankind to grow in number and establish the first villages. some of
There's
which
something
were
else
the
probably
towns,
people have noticed.
heralding
I'll
the
ask
birth
this
of
for you now.
civilization.
So,
Citizen
right
of
here's a prime example.
Alexandria. The people could only look on in terror, believing they had angered the gods of legends past with their actions.
I did a lot of adding thunderstorms and sounds of thunder in here as well. I kind of gave every era its own sound effect. So I gave the second astral era its thunder effect, and I gave the first astral era its thunder effect, the second astral era its fire effects, and so on.
Cities and towns were quickly abandoned, with the people fleeing into underground caves and tunnels to escape them.
It's very hard to find a cave to take a picture of. I'll be very blunt. It was very hard to find a cave.
11. And while these caves protected them from the
But I wanted to ask you about this. I'd say probably a few people have noticed this, but nobody's ever commented on it. But I've tried to incorporate Namingway into my videos as much as possible. So these aren't done just because I'm lazy or anything else like that. It's because I intentionally try to fit Namingway into every scene. So when he's sitting down, when he's looking at the screen, or he's wandering around, I make sure he's there in the corner or in the background, just doing his own thing. Because I think it adds a bit more to the video, and it's become kind of a calling card for my videos now that I add Namingway in. And my next video is going to have a lot of Namingway as well. And the rest of my videos going forward is the same. Like, it's been in my last few videos, it's been the same thing. But I've tried to add him in as much as possible because, to be honest, I love Namingway. And I tried to make him a character. So, he's like speaking here, the Furble survives the calamity. So, he's become kind of a starring character. And to be honest, I never use another... Like, you'll notice, like, Namingway is always my minion. This is the reason I don't collect minions. Is because ever since I got him, he's been my primary minion. He follows me around on every journey. He's always been there. He's my partner in crime at this point. He's as much a character in my videos as I am. So I love to add him in as much or as little as I can.
The heat died down and the weather returned to normal. But most of mankind had been wiped out.
We're going to need a bigger graveyard. Yeah, it's like we're going to need a bigger boat. But I tried to put stuff like that, and I tried to add, like, he's going to be my methods for adding bits of cheeky humor into serious discussions. Because me adding jokes in are probably not going to sound as funny, but if they're just on screen looking like they're coming from this cheeky little shit, I think it will actually have the intended effect I was looking for. So expect more of that in the future. Because I love the little guy. Like, my videos wouldn't be the same without him, in my opinion. So I try to fit him in as much as I can. I'm trying to go for more unique sort of pictures as well of different characters. This one was hard. This chapter was difficult.
After a time, the aether of their world began to settle. The heat died down.
No, sorry, not this chapter. This chapter was difficult, sorry. Trying to represent a religious time within FF14 was difficult.
Many people, due to indoctrination, felt they would incur the god's wrath for such failures.
So I put this guy in a lot because he's a freaking basket case. I took a lot of pictures
the
of him,
churches
to
sought
be
to
honest.
eliminate anyone who could
Just like,
threaten them.
bye, girl.
Which included people with a proficiency for magic.
I originally made that black and white, but I decided to just leave the color in.
Such as the young and growing discipline
I put this in as
of
well.
mages, which began to take
Reunion. That's what they reminds me of. Like, it never occurred to me before, but when I actually recorded them, I was looking for religious figures and magical figures to capture footage of. They immediately reminded me of the Sephiroth clones that are inhabiting Nibelheim, all in their black robes. So I was just like, Reunion,
anyone who could threaten. Discipline of mages, which began to take shape. Elimination of such individuals usually involved the cleansing of entire villages and towns. To this were the children, who would be spared and sold into slavery.
But yeah, I enjoyed making this video a lot. I had to take a lot of pictures of that church in order to get a kind of religious theme in. So I tried to theme my videos and what's going on with what I'm talking about. So it's hard sometimes to get pictures like that, but for the most part I'm able to do it.
After this, the people abandoned the pursuit of worship, balance of its people.
Faith
in the gods.
Charlie in here as well.
This simple idea of the astral era.
I fit her in as well. She's a character from the Silver Bazaar. I've always liked her, to be honest. I always liked that little side quest that was there. So I tried to I think I'll probably make a video on the Silver Bazaar in the future. I've been meaning to. I think I have a script for it. Or I think I poked at it a little. So I'll probably make a video on that sometime in the future. I originally, actually, I meant to do it a while ago. But I was planning on making an entire video on the Allegan Empire. But I started to realize people have probably already done that. So I never search for videos. So I'm going to assume if I type in the Allegan Empire lore, there's going to be a lot of videos about what the Allegan Empire is. Yeah, history of the Allegan Empire, Allegan Empire, Allegan Empire, White Empire, Allegan Empire. So everybody's done it. So I decided, you know what, I'm just not going to join the trend. I never watch other people's videos, so I don't even know who these content creators are. I usually live in my own bubble in that regard. But that's all the videos I've made so far. So as of January 1st, I'm making a new video. It's not ready yet, but let me just distract myself and others while I do actually do that. My next video, I'm not going to mention what the topic is yet because I'm still working on it. But I'll be frank, actually. On January 1st, I had a completely different video in mind. I abandoned it, I think, a week later because I wasn't happy with this subject. It kind of felt a bit... I didn't know where it was going, to be perfectly honest. I mean, the subject was interesting enough, and I tried to put a bit of humor, a bit of elevation to it, but I just wasn't feeling it. So I decided to abandon it, and I started scripting my next video, and I'm much happier with my next video. However, I think this video has taken longer to script than any other video I've ever made. The subject is not complicated, the subject is just long. But I'm looking forward to making it, but it's requiring me to do a lot of research. So I'm having to look through... This is the reason that I've been logging in every day and spending all of my time in the Unending Journey and New Game Plus, because I've been researching a particular topic, but this topic spans the entirety of FF14 from A Realm Reborn to the end of Endwalker. So it's been a complicated one, primarily because I've forgotten a lot about it. I've forgotten about a lot of interactions, how a lot of scenes took place. I have access to all the records, like the chat records of cutscenes and stuff like that, but they're not the same. So a chat may make it look like that something is happening, but something completely different is actually going on. So I'm having to re-watch all the cutscenes, read the Eorzean Encyclopedia again, in order to actually craft this next video, and I think it's going to turn out pretty well. I'm 90% done on the script, so it should be a great video. And once the script is done, the video should actually be very quick to make. I shouldn't have much issue making the video. It's primarily the script that's taking so long, but once the script is done, the rest of it will be child's play, because it's mostly timeline related, which should be easy enough. And I've taken a lot of screenshots. A hell of a lot of screenshots, actually. More screenshots than I should have taken, to be perfectly honest, and recorded a hell of a lot of different scenes. Oh! It's, the inspector. I forgot that was added, actually. Oh, do I want to click this? Do you know what? I could use a chuckle. Actually, no, do you know what? People probably haven't done this yet. I think this was only recently added, right? No, I won't do that. That's going to be spoilers, I think. Let me do something else. Let me see here. You mentioned on that Christmas stream the 1.0 map video. That's the one you scrapped? Actually, no, it's not the one I scrapped. It's... So, well, technically it's not the one I scrapped. I poked at the 1.0 map video, but I've realized that I'm going to put it off for the time being, primarily because I've forgotten a lot of information about the subject, and I don't have access to a lot of screenshots of those particular areas. I mean, happily enough, there's methods for me to gain access to and play 1.0, but I don't want to go through all that trouble to do that. So I'll try and make that video if I can. It's still a plan for me to do it, but I think for now I'm going to focus on the video I'm doing. And maybe the next video is one I'll do, but it's definitely one I'm going to do. Do you know what? There's something I haven't done in ages. I haven't been on the FF14 subreddit in ages, you know that? I avoid Reddit like the plague, I'll be perfectly honest. My phone doesn't have Reddit on it. I think I uninstalled Reddit like 3 years ago. Frankly, it was annoying me and it kept pinging me, and then you're reading it on the train and you're getting all this crappy information and people being annoying. So I decided to uninstall it, and honestly it was the best decision I've ever made. I think the only reason I go on Reddit once in a blue moon to go onto the FF14 subreddit, but that's primarily to do research. So usually I'm researching when a patch came out like 8 years ago. What were people's reactions to particular characters when they came out? So I'll be reading articles from like 8 years ago to see how people reacted to particular content, or what people thought about particular theories. When I'm making a theory video, what did people think about this theory 5 years ago, 10 years ago, before the game came out? What did people think? I don't think Reddit was around when 1.0 came out, but still. Let's go on there now, because I haven't gone on there in a while. Actually, what's the trending searches? Considering this is a private tab. HMRC eBay Vinted whatever. TikTok ban. I heard about that actually. I assume a lot of you are in the US as well. TikTok's getting, or apparently they're going to ban it tomorrow or something. I don't use TikTok. But I think it was primarily due to security concerns due to the app and its connections to the Communist Party, I think, in China. So I think that, what was it they wanted? I rarely read the news, so quote me if say if I'm wrong, but I think they wanted the parent company of TikTok to sell the app to an American company in order for it to actually cut the connection with the Communist Party. And I think they're saying that the Communist Party actually doesn't have anything to do with it. You read it out what you will, I have no idea. But I think tomorrow is the deadline. I think they're going to force Apple and Google to remove it from the Play and the App Store. We'll see what comes to that tomorrow. I think I'll read the news tomorrow to see what planets aligning. Oh god, the planets are aligning. Are they? Actually, that's a good question. Are the planets aligning? Is there an alignment coming up that I don't know about? 6 planets are visible in the sky all at once this month. Oh. Okay, so they're actually... I never go onto the sun. Jesus, when is the last time I went onto the sun? Oh, interesting. I think I'll have to have a look at that. We don't really get many stars in Dublin, to be perfectly honest. So, yeah. But FF14, Reddit. Oh god, what am I doing? Why am I going onto this cesspit? Oh, I feel dirty even doing this. As I said, I'll only go on this to look up a particular subject. So, for example, if I'm going to look at 1.0, I'll see topics from 11 or 6 years ago. A reminder how... Yeah, you get to spiel like that. Guess he was doomed from the start. Yeah, fair enough. You see, you get good stuff like this, though. You get artwork that's pretty cool. So, like, I like that part of the subreddit. But as I recall, the mods of the subreddit are pretty aggressive in their blocking of stuff. I suppose they have to, given the rowdiness of our crowd. But it is what it is. What the hell is this? Oh, bots. I'm assuming they're bots. Yeah, they have to be bots, right? I'm assuming they're all under the map and they all pinged. But they're all leveling differently as well, which is interesting. They have to be bots. Really no reason to restrict glamour on jobs. Well, that restriction is getting lifted more, I think. I think we're getting less and less restrictions on glamours these days because the gender one was the first one they got rid of. But I think they've been getting rid of the job one after that. That's nice art. I like that. Tail's a bit mad, but their tail is huge. Holy shit. That's a huge tail, but it is artwork, so. Oh god. The crossover you didn't know you needed. That makes me think about it, actually. We never got a crossover. Like, if you think about the last games, 13 got a crossover in 2.0. Great crossover. In my opinion, the FF14 the Final Fantasy 13 crossover event in A Realm Reborn is still, without a doubt, the greatest crossover we ever got access to, because we got access to multiple different quests which all made the own narrative for the story, multiple fates which were very interesting, and it all accumulated with multiple weapons that are still pretty good and pretty nice to use today. So in my opinion, they're still the best crossover. But just think about that for a second. 13 got a crossover, 15 got a crossover, 16 got a crossover. I did that one before I even played 16. Remake never got a crossover, and Rebirth never got a crossover. But I think if they were going to make a crossover for 7, it would come right before Part 3. Which would make sense, because if you think about Final Fantasy 13, it got a crossover before Lightning Returns. So in between 13.2 and Lightning Returns is when we got the crossover for that. I had no idea there was never a 13 crossover. I wouldn't be surprised, because they've never actually redone the 13 crossover. They did the crossover once in 2.0, and they never redid it. They never reintroduced. I think actually no. I think I lie. I think they ran the 13 crossover again some point in Realm Reborn, but ever since they didn't. I think they ran it a couple of times, but ever since then they didn't. The other crossover for the other games, they all got the multiple crossovers ran. The saving grace is, even if you haven't done the crossover, and you got the weapons for free, by the way, you can still buy the weapons on the Mog stations today, so you can still get those sort of things. But this is yeah, I don't like seeing Cloud like that, sorry. Thank you for your support. Lovely PvP community in this game. We got first place too. We need to kill. We need to oh god. Oh Jesus Christ. If you're wondering why I stayed off the subreddit, I've never tried using that interface, I'll be honest. I mean, I think I switched it on for a few minutes once, but that's it. Still, it's a nice interface. I bought Augmented Char Gear before completing the Quest Heaven's Ward, and I don't remember how. Actually, neither do I. I don't know how you did that. God, there's a lot of ads. Ellison sketch page, original work. Oh, that's nice. That's pretty, actually. I like it. She doesn't necessarily look like an Ellison to me, though. She looks like an elf. She looks like an elf. Yeah, she doesn't look like an Ellison to me. She looks like an elf. But still, it's a lovely sketch. I love the sketch. That's what I'd watch. When you want Sam Breck, but you have Sam Breck at home instead. I don't get it. And this is an FF14 freaking thing. Why are you showing us 16? Oh, there's a second tab. Fair. Okay. Yeah, fair. To be honest, fair. Fair. Yeah, she needs more giraffe. Exactly. She needs more neck. Giraffe. What a game. Just be Endwalker. Do I click it? Do I click it? I'm always nervous about Ryu spoilers. Fuck it, I'll click it. Okay, it's just that. Okay. A bit She's waterboarding the poor bastard. He has a mask on at least, so saving grace. It's Shahulid. Okay. Got invited to my first wedding. It was really fun. I haven't been to a wedding in years. Like, think about it. I want you all to think about it for a second. When's the last time you went to an FF14 wedding? I went to a ton of weddings after the system was added. Everybody got married at that point, so there was always a wedding to go to. I think I got invited to a random wedding one time, And I stuck out like a sore thumb, primarily because I wasn't changing my glamour to a wedding dress or anything else like that. I changed it to a dress that was blue, that matched my helm, because my helm never comes off. But I felt like a sore thumb, to be honest. I felt like some rando who just wandered in off the street and is just sitting in the church when they're getting married. I've yet to be in a heterosexual wedding in this game. You've yet to be? I think most of them are heterosexual. Actually, now that I think about it. Actually, yeah, a heterosexual wedding might be the minority in the wedding system of FF14, because most people play female characters. Mine, L, and my husband's FF14 authenticators. Alright, genuine question. How many authenticators have you gone through? I've been playing since 1.0. For the entirety of 1.0, 2.0, and 2.1. Sorry, no. For 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. Yeah. And halfway through Shadowbringers, I used my original 1.0 token from the Collector's Edition, which is this one. Then I switched to this one in Shadowbringers, and that one is still going strong. So I've never gone through, but then again, there's both of them. So they've gone through, so they're on their third authenticator. So they've gone through 2 authenticators. So I'm assuming this thing's going to die soon. And I'm going to need to get a new authenticator. So, but still, do they still make them like this? I'm assuming Dawn Trail got its own one, or they carry them around with them, I assume, or they just put that on them for the lulz. Mine never leaves my house, to be perfectly honest. It sits above my keypad, and it just sits there. I'm assuming everybody else uses phones as well, which makes sense. I just finished End Walker, and all I can say is holy F. I never cried my eyes are harder than MMO before. Thanks, Graha. Okay, I can see which scene they cried at. Been driving my Tsukuyomi car for 2 years all over the place. Here's a compilation of my favorite moments. Your Tsukuyomi car. What is that, a Nissan? It's nice. I like it. She's a chibi version and the full version. Can't tell by the plates. I don't know where this car is from. Oh, Jesus Christ, no. No, you don't drive around with this shit in your car, do you? It's pretty. It's pretty. But fuck me, you go around the corner, this thing's gonna be hitting you in the face. The size of this. You don't drive around with that. No, come on. No. You put that in there to get a laugh. What the fuck? Oh, I like the bumper. And the poo. Okay. Fair play to you for not omitting your plate. Fair play. But still, I won't be standing on my own bumper like that. Fuck me. Especially not on a live road. Did you just pull over onto the fucking side of the road to take this picture? You couldn't have done it in your driveway? Jesus. Oh, I'm assuming this is Japan, you know? But that's not a Japanese play, is it? I don't know. Is that FF14? Ooh. See, this is the one thing as soon as I go to Japan, I'm hoping to see cars like this. But that's a cool car. I like it. I just wouldn't stand on it like you did. I mean, I know it's an older car, but you have to look after it like that. The older they get, the more you have to look after them. Need context about man fighting a botanist on Labyrinthos. Need context on a man fighting a botanist. I'm assuming if you walk up... Wait, what is this? Okay, alright. My curiosity has been piqued. I'm going to Labyrinthos. What the hell is that? I've never noticed that before. Where was this guy? Oh, that's the, the cultivation place, isn't it? Or is it here? It's here, isn't it? No, it's here. Okay, so it's right here. I'm frankly curious. I've never seen that before. I'm hoping it's actually there and it's not tied to a quest or something. Wait, is it here? Let me double check again. Right, the walls are there. He's there. I know what this is. This is. This I would have thought it was up here. Or here. No, it's here. It's at our agronomics. Agronomics. Is that a word? Agronomics. I'm assuming. I'm assuming it's here. I'm curious what these little ones are doing. Is it here? Oh, here it is. Okay. Oh! What's this fucker doing? Hey, leave the things alone! They're minding their own business. I like how one's sprouting seeds, the other's not sprouting seeds. I'm understanding now why he's needing context. They're not saying anything. Oh. Don't even think of fertilizing that. But my magnum opus. Oh, he's planning to fertilize the... Wait, she has a little dress, look! Boy and girl. Boy and girl Marlboro. Aww. Why have I never seen this before? He wants to fertilize it. And he's like, I don't want a million marbles running around. Leave the dude to fertilize his marble however he wants. You get lost. And she's just there like, I honestly don't give a shit. I just need to be here. I love these little things. Look at this. He has a dress. Is that an actual minion? That must be an actual minion in game. Alright, what's the context? Well, I know what the I kind of know what the context is. Yeah, we already a lot of fates have also little events like this happen as they're getting started. Yeah, there was fates regarding marbles, but I had no idea. So he's going for the sack. He doesn't want it to fertilize the little ones, and rightfully so. They're gonna start popping up out of the ground like tribbles. Like, you put fertilizer on this marble, you're gonna get like 50 marbles. It's a minion from Eureka worth like 20 million. I wonder if they actually got it from Eureka though. The fact that it has a dress though, look! This thing is freaking cute. If it wasn't a Mantra's murderer machine, even as a seedling, I'd find it very adorable. But damn, that's interesting. Everything about fates that could use some fixing. Tuning from fate to fate is wildly inconsistent. Certain fates might see you and your chocobo companion comfortably soloing each other, whereas others will kill you in seconds. I love the fates. I love the fate system in general. It could use a bit of tweaking, so I'm not gonna lie. A little fan art of mine of my Buny girl. Fair enough. It's pretty. Made a new portrait of my character with the porksy and the carbon. Aw, she loves her pets. I like that. That's nice. I like that. Am I crafting wrong? I used really basic melts on my 690 gear to craft the Everseeker 720 gear. I don't know anything about crafting, so I'm just going to ignore that. Level up your gameplay. Oh, that's an ad. Sorry. Stupid ads on Reddit. God damn it. All in all, like, there's nothing too offensive or bad on this subreddit so far. But I'm assuming it's only going to be a matter of time before I run into somebody giving out yards about something. A fresh player's perspective on FF14 and thoughts on the story. I just started the game about 2.5 months ago and played through the entire story from start to finish as a new fresh player without any preconceptions or history with the game. Here's my thoughts. Wow, I don't think I've ever experienced a game like this in my life. I had a unique advantage of not having to wait for expansions, no more stories. Yeah, Like, anybody who starts FF14 now is in for an amazing experience, because the amount of content they can chew themselves through is amazing. Granted, it's going to take them a little longer to get to endgame content, but the good thing is, as far as I'm aware, and stop me if I'm wrong, if you're progressing through the main story and you already reached the level cap of the current expansion, you already have that expansion unlocked, I'm assuming you can gain access to particular content. But no, actually no, wait, then again, you need to go to the actual map, don't you? Yeah, to unlock the content, you have to go to the new map in particular, unlock it at the quest giver. Yeah, so never mind me, I was thinking about that. So you'd have to go through all the story content before you can unlock raiding content and stuff like that, which is fair. It won't take you that long. It would take you, well, assuming the speed that I play it, if you pay attention to all the cutscenes and stuff like that, so 200 hours? 300? 200, 300 hours, give or take. You did it in 2.5 months, so give or take, yeah. Over knee boots. I know that it sounds like a strange question, but I love the look of over knee boots in this game. The class I would like to play is Dark Knight. Will there be an option for glamour I can use? I'm fairly certain most of the plate armor is over knee. Sailor Reen. Oh, I suppose that's a spin on Sailor Moon, isn't it? Yeah, I think that's a Jesus, her boots are huge. Me and my friend made Squid Game okay, I'm assuming that's a mod. Has to be a mod. Unless we're getting a crossover, I didn't realize. Fantasia Friday giveaway. Okay. Fashion reports. Oh, I remember this. People always made the fashion reports like this. I remember I used to see these on Reddit a lot. I think people post them in Discords these days as well. Raid night for the Dynamis boys. Get in, loser. We're going to Aether. Okay, fair enough. The Dynamis boys are all like, we're neglected. We're going to a different one. Extended rotation guides. I'm looking for an extended rotation plan or document that's for like 4 or 5 minutes of a class rotation beyond the burst phase. TLD or... Oh, no, they've already... I didn't see anything on the balance or icy veins. You obviously weren't looking far enough. There's like a million guides that have that sort of thing on the balance. The balance is very good. I don't even recognize half the people on my friends list. Who are you? Yeah, I get that a lot. But if you look at my friends list, yeah, I probably won't see any. I think I removed them all, to be honest. Oh, there's probably a few of them not gonna... Yeah, I think I removed them all. I'm pretty good about trimming my friends lists whenever I see those things, because I'm like, I don't know how many of these people are. I'm watching Girl DM and Caffeinated Dad playthrough. It's amazing to see people experience the game. Like, yeah, I'd say that's probably pretty cool to see people experiencing the game that you experienced years ago for the first time. That's not a mod. That's the tank helmet drop from Vanguard. Wait, seriously? Oh, you're right. Hang on. It just looks like Squid Game. That's funny. That's funny. That's funny. I like that. Oh, that's good. When your creativity pays off. That's a lovely glam. Hello there. Hi. Hi. What hair is that? The hair is Modern Legend. I used the... Okay, so I'm assuming it's not mods because other people can see it. That looks like mods. Yeah, I think that was... Oh, or maybe not. It's a nice hair, though. Overlay causes game crashes. Well, it's a third party. What do you expect? Is what it is. I'm new to Final Fantasy and MMOs. Anything I should know or avoid? This subreddit. Get out of here. I'm assuming one of the comments will be this subreddit. Watch. Do not click on links in the chat box. They will steal your account. Yep, fair enough. Alright, nobody's saying this subreddit, unfortunately. Okay, that sucks. Oh, that said, I've not come across anything that's offended me yet. Curiosity killed the catfish. Never feel people do this fate anymore. It can be done as a solo tank. There's most fates that people don't do anymore, to be perfectly honest. Setting the frame rate to none will turn the game into a slideshow. Yeah, true, because it's going to try and render it at your top frame rate, regardless of what your refresh rate is. So, unless you have an amazing rig, you never set your frame rate to none. So, my frame rate, for example, is set to below 60 FPS, which essentially caps it. Or, I think it's in here, actually. I think that's the wrong place to look. There was yeah, here it is. So it's set to my main display refresh rate, which is 60 FPS. Although I think my screen has the ability to go to 75, but that's the reason. MSQ question: why am I here? I'm gonna say, she's brand new, yeah. So, well, did you attune to the Aetherite? Oh. I just started to Puga this and I filled in this and became Row. Then became 1. My question is, main story, we're no doubt to trouble. She didn't attune. Yeah. So she didn't know about attunements yet. New players are cute in that regards that they don't know much about the mechanics of the game. I'll tell you my most frustrating story when a new player. This was a long time ago. I think I set up a free company for new players a long time ago. And we got a bunch of new players joining because naturally it's new players that are going to attract first in order to fill up your numbers. And they always had a lot of questions for me, so I tried to answer them as much as I could. There was one particular player who started leveling a particular... I think it was Thaumaturge at the start. Then he decided, I think I want to try one of the different jobs, but he hadn't unlocked the ability to switch jobs yet, because he hadn't unlocked the other jobs. So I said, alright, and I gave him an explanation of how to do it. I said, no, I think I'll create a second character. I usually like to create multiple characters for different jobs. And I'm like, that's a very bad idea. You're going to run into a very bad experience when you start leveling up more. And I think he made like 3 or 4 different characters for different jobs. And it's just like he wasn't understanding or listening to me, and I was getting like, oh, I got a migraine. It's just like, you can switch jobs. That's the appeal of FF14. This is not World of Warcraft. You do not need to make a dozen alts for every job. So that was probably my most frustrating new player interaction. Oh jeez, I can still remember that conversation. I was so frustrated. I was just like, why isn't he understanding this? Why is he doing this for himself? That was bad. That was a bad time. Okay, F14 complete edition. I started with my condolences. Although I'd say it's probably still okay on Mac. I just don't like Macs. A WoW migrant, exactly. Yeah, it was during the time that WoW was tanking and FF14 was still going through its giant growth spurt. So I think it was partway through Heaven's Word actually. I adore the new hairstyle in store top. That's cute. I'm assuming it's legit, yeah? It looks cute. I like it. Blue Mages. What spells did you take into stage 31 Go-Go of Mars Carnival? I have no idea because I didn't finish leveling mine. You're able to see me? That's a... Why do I suddenly have another Fantasia? This all Gridania next to it. Oh, I remember this. Yeah. I think that was added sometime after 2.0, I think. Stuck at character selection. No, I'm not here to troubleshoot. Sorry. Namazilla. That's cute. I like that. Old-fashioned drippy Ramoon float. Yummy. That's cool. I think that's it looks like a sticker. Help Island Sanctuary. How to find friends after falling out with... Oh, I love drama. I love getting a bit of drama every once in a while. Like, usually, like, when you're playing, you avoid drama like the plague, but you like reading about it sometimes, don't you? Like, you like reading about how FCs or guilds kind of, like, implode. So, I like reading stories like this. Had a falling out with my FC the other day, and I'm unsure how to start over. I still like the game, but feel kinda hollow. I'd take a break, but I still have prog with the unrelated group that's all business and I don't want to let the team down. Fair enough. There were a lot of cracks that formed in our friendship over time, but we had been friends for so long that I'm not even sure how to go about trying to find friends that are on the same wavelength as me now. I guess I just want friends that care about me as much as I care about them, and I realised I was the outsider, but I'm not sure where to even start, as most FCs are already a tight-knit group. Has anyone else had similar experience, or is there any tips on how to go about finding new friends in the game? Yeah, essentially the answer is just play the game. I mean, I can see where this person's coming from. They're looking for a place to belong, aren't we all? And I'll be fair, I was in their position as well years ago. Like, at the beginning of Stormblood, I had nowhere to go. Had no FC. I'd moved servers. The other players I knew had quit, so I was on my lonesome. So we've all been there, to be honest. Like, I think this person's issue is they've set themselves a criteria, and if you start judging people you meet based on a criteria, you're never going to make friends. Making friends is about accepting people for their differences. It's not because they check box a bunch of your criteria. I suppose that's the best way to put it. If you go out finding friends and they have to tick every box, you're not going to make any friends. Because how can you just meet a person and then 5 minutes later instantly realize they don't check all your boxes? How do you know that after 5 minutes? So that's the answer. Play the game. Just play it and let the experiences come to you. You'll find friends eventually, or you won't. Or maybe a different experience will happen. Maybe you'll be fated for something else. Like, the experience is the teacher. That's the answer to that. Or my answer to that, anyway. Did the zones in Dawn Trail feel more continuous, adjacent to one another? The zones in Dawn Trail are a complete mystery to me because I haven't set foot in them in ages. I think my last live stream is the last time I stepped foot in some of these zones. Like, I can't remember when I was here, or here, or here. I can't remember when I was there. I remember when I was here, when I made my last video. I don't remember when I can barely remember these other zones. It's because we've never had an excuse to go. I remember Mamook. Yeah, now I remember Yaktel because of Mamook. I like Mamook. But yeah, this zone in particular is like a blank to me. I can kind of remember it, but I can't fully remember it. I assume I'll remember a lot more once we start doing our side quests and our tribal quests and stuff like that. So, but yeah. What religion did they worship in Bosnia? I don't think they have one. They believe in their monarchs. Or they believe in their matriarch. Yeah. That's actually a subject I'm going to cover one day. The religions of FF14. There's a lot of different religions, both past and present, in the FF14 universe. I will cover them in a video. But it's still something I pick at the script every once in a while, but in answer to that, it's their queen. They're a matriarchy. So everything revolves around their queen. But that's primarily due to the Hrothgar, who make up the majority of the people in Bosnia. Or did. Anyway. Did I waste my money? I played a bit 5 years ago on PC. Only about a month or two, but decided to play again, so I bought it on PS5. I got the complete edition. Somebody who can't decide whether to play or not. A fairy and her bodyguard. I'm sorry about that, but... A fairy and her bodyguard. I like that. That's good. That's an old Chocobo glam I haven't seen in a long time. I like that. I think I remember using that glam years ago. An FF14 animation. My first big one. Do I dare? Ooh. Okay, this is clearly somebody who's much better than me. I'm assuming they're using a render and a graphics engine in order to do that. Yeah, because of that.
She told me about the Dark Knights, warriors who fought with the hatred burning in their hearts. They didn't wield their swords for glory or pride, but because they hated them.
Dark Knight Lord.
The monsters in the dark.
Oh, this is good. Yeah, it kind of feels like Unreal Engine. I think it's Unreal Engine 4, actually. It doesn't look like UE5. Aw, little girl.
I was scared of her.
Oh, it's from her perspective.
The
Okay.
stories made her sound like a shadow come to life.
Which they are, technically. It's all about the darkness within.
But she was kind. There was something in her eyes.
I like this effect that you can't
And I
even see
wasn't
their full
scared
face.
anymore.
So that's some good cinematography. You can instantly tell this person has
It
experience.
is said that hatred is the source of a Dark Knight's power.
No, it's not.
But
Hatred
that
is not
only
the
half
source.
the truth.
It's none of the truth. It's about tapping
Hatred
into
is
your
the
inner
spark.
darkness.
But the flame? Love.
I suppose you could say that. Interesting choice of foe, an ogre. What's that sword? I know what that sword is, but the other sword. Nice music. Nothing cheering in the darkness.
They were about finding strength in loss. Enduring its weight.
It's a way of putting it.
And the love that fuels your power.
Why is her sword there? Did she die? Oh, she took the sword. Oh, she buried her parents. You wanna be a dark knight? That must have hurt. Best time to start using your powers. I was wondering why you were still fighting as a warrior. Under the moonlight. That was good. I have to say, that was very good. That was very good. I like that. I'll give her a comment later. Yeah, impressed with that, to be honest. Very impressed. After all these years, I finally have them. Oh yeah. Wait, that's from leveling. That's from leveling all the classes, yeah. I suppose she just ignored the other jobs for a long time. What feat is he wearing? It's French, I think. I don't know who that is. I'll be honest, I have no idea what feat he's wearing. So, can't answer that. Crystalline Conflict Enjoyers. What keeps you from waiting to queue? What keeps you from wanting to queue for ranked? Is the lack of incentive to rank up, pressure to play well, or just plain long queue times, all of the above? As I recall Crystalline Conflict, the queue starts off well when everybody is at the low ranks, and then as people start to taper off either from boredom or the fact that they already got their rewards, less and less people participate. In my regard, it's usually because I end up getting something I'll never end up using. Like, I rarely change my glamour. I don't change my minion, as I've already explained. My hat never changes, so usually I'm very limited on my glamours. So usually the rewards never really interest me in that regard. Like, for other people, the glamours are perfect for them, so they'll level up to do that. But I'm not a completionist, so that's my reason for not doing the Crystalline Conflict. Unless it's something that directly references it to me. But I'm a lore guy, so I love the people in this game sometimes. I need a Nero. I'm holding out for a Nero till the end of the night. I like that. That's good. Yeah, the soundtrack that's playing right now it's a channel called FF4 Final Fantasy and Chill. I've been listening to them for a couple of years. They do little remixes of all the Final Fantasy music. So this is the one that's playing at the moment. It's like 8 hours worth of all of their uploads. So they're a very good channel, especially for stuff like this. I will say though, if you're planning to use it on streams or stuff like that, it will get you sometimes demonetized, or the video will get demonetized. But this stream is not monetized at all, so I don't really care in that regard. You want the link? Okay, I'll send you the link, Yuri. Give me a second. There you go, Yuri. Alright. You're welcome. Alright. Finally caught up to the MSQ. Ah, you're all done, yeah. So, Kryl is... Also, is that where Kryl is? Okay. I thought she went back to the annex. Yeah, they're all hanging around, are they? So, thank you, Kayoko. I hope someone else with less questionable fetishes takes over the fashion reports. I haven't seen this posted here, and yet I'm not sure if this is allowed, so please excuse me if it isn't. I would like to thank Kayoko one last time for their efforts in keeping the realm fashionable. I have no idea what's going on. This thread is going the same way as the previous one. People talking and arguing about fetishes, so I will be locking this. Oh god, so this is... right, so we found... Like, it took us a few minutes, but we found the drama. So what are they moaning about now? It was posted, but it got locked because people kept talking about his diaper fetish. Oh god, sorry. I'm not even gonna try to get involved with this. I was honestly shocked when I saw this in the cache. yeah, good luck. I'm assuming because it matches her outfit, maybe. Any other forever sprouts out there? I've played on and off for so long, and at this point I don't know if we should catch up with the story. Heretics. People who don't catch up with the story are... Oh, it's good. That's good. You're a rabbit because you eat a rabbit. That's good. I like that. I'm assuming that's on the moon somewhere. She's probably lying down on the floor or something. Help picking your starting city. It doesn't matter what your city is. If you're making a Keeper of the Moon, though, from a lore perspective, right? Let me answer this question. From a lore perspective, a Keeper of the Moon, you should start in Limsa Laminsa as a Keeper of the Moon. The Keepers are still semi-ostracized by the people of Gridania. I will say that. There's still bad blood between the Keepers and the Seekers. Oh, sorry, no, that's wrong. Sorry. It's the other city. Sorry. No, actually, no, it's right. The Keepers are still a bit... There's still a bit of bad blood with the Keepers and the likes of the Twin Adders, I think. I can't remember. It's been a long time, to be honest. But If you're playing a keeper, I'd say play in Limsa. Because Limsa is amazing, that's why. Although, you can't go wrong with Ulda either. Is there a website for what melds to use for crafting? That's cute, I like that. I made mugshots of my aura as if a Kingdom Hearts HP bar. Oh! And she's like, what the hell did I just do? That's good though, I like her art style. Are there any news on the regional pricing for the subscriptions in FF14? Thought they were all the same pretty much. How do the Limsa cat girls do it? How do they shout advertisements without feeling weird? I tried advertising my stream on a leveling queue and instantly felt weird and apologized. Why would you feel weird? You have an avatar with a different name than yours. Nobody knows who you are. This is the appeal of MMORPGs. You can come on and be yourself. I can literally just start walking around and just go, I like the Spice Girls or something. Why would you feel weird? That sounds like a personality thing. Pros and cons of your data center. And I don't know why I yelled at Spice Girls, but I did like Spice Girls when I was younger. Who didn't? They were cute. Pros and cons of your data center. I'm currently in chaos, and recently I got to thinking what the pros and cons people think of their current logical data centers. Just for example, I've noticed certain things just go better on certain DCs over others, like rival wings. So as I can't visit all DCs, I wondered what. Crystal Pro, tons of people, feels like an MMO. Crystal Con, Party Finder is barren at times. Dynamis, less people, cozy, Party Finder for dungeons is fun. Less people, key times, 24 mans, and PvP suck. Yeah, so every data center, depending on its level of people, has a different. They'll have a different experience, won't they? Like Dynamis has issues of people, and others have too many people entirely. But it's data centers in general, so it's usually the servers have their own personalities. Commissioned by me. That's pretty, I like that. I like the earring as well. She kind of looks like my ma when she's going out though, with that suit. More fishing woes. Does anyone know how to get the model of our Warriors of Light? I want to get a tree model to use a 3D printer. I thought there was a method of doing that actually. New and lost server. I'm new to the game and wanted advice on which North American server to join. And any advice, I can guarantee you, I'll click in here. I know even before clicking here, they're going to say Balmonk. Oh, wow. Maybe I'm just getting old. Nobody said Balmonk. I'm shocked. I played on Balmonk, by the way. I don't think I've ever said this to anybody, but my legacy character, or one of my remaining legacy characters, was located on Balmonk. And I transferred it to Chaos now, so it's sitting on Chaos. But yeah, I played on Balmonk for a while, but while I waited for it to transfer. And I enjoyed myself. Like, people give Balmonk a bad rep, to be honest. I see more kinkier crap on every other server. Balmonk just feels like roleplay community. It doesn't feel like ERP. People give it an ERP rep. It's a roleplay more than anything else. So, Balmonk is a fun server. I highly recommend if you ever get the chance, go to visit Balmonk. Particularly the Quicksand. And you'll see a lot of happy people. So it's a nice place. Forever my favorite zone. That definitely looks altered. It is altered because it's not that bright. But still, it's nice. To the party, I just did Alexander Rage. But to be honest, we've all done this. We've all stood on that cliff and looked over that city. I just did the Alexander Rage with Ansura. Yeah? I don't understand. What's the best time to do Crystal Tower? Whenever the hell you want to do Crystal Tower, depending on your data center again. Sell me on the story. I don't care about spoilers. Heresy. Heresy. I'm not selling you on the story. If you don't like the story, you don't play the story. Although you can look at my videos. Quona, let's play hide and seek. Okay, I'll count you hide. 20, 19. She's gone. She didn't get far, did she? Lamity. Lamity, I don't know. That's good, I like that. That kind of sounds like him. He's freaking the hell out because he doesn't know where he's throwing shit around. I like that. That's good. I like that. That's good. Sold all my gear to an NPC developer because I'm tired and not thinking straight. Sounds accurate. Sprout here decided to have a sort out of all the gear I don't use. I have most classes unlocked and my highest is Viper 93. It's been a long week and I thought I'd just sell all my junk gear to an NPC vendor. A few notifications popped up saying part of a set. Being an absolute idiot, I thought this piece is an old. Oh, they sold their active pieces. You can just buy stuff off vendors, you're fine. We've all done this before. I used to hold on to all my raiding gear up until Shadowbringers. And I decided it was sitting in my retainers, taking up space. Wasn't going to use it anymore. Wasn't going to use it for glamours either, so I just sold it all. And to be honest, best decision I've ever made because I do not miss them anymore. Windows 11 Auto HDR suddenly stops working after 14 specifically. Almost to the end of or, but G posing is too fun. I'm assuming they meant Around Reborn. They're pretty good at it. I like the hair. No, that's not real hairstyle, is it? It looks a bit too, oh, that's nice. I like that picture. Excuse me. They're pretty good, actually. To be honest, they're having a great time. Alright, I'm going to finish off with Reddit here because I've been going through Reddit for a while now. But I haven't run into too many issues. I'm glad it's actually in a better place right now. How long did it take you to be good at your job / raids? It takes everybody at different speed. Everybody does that at different speeds. But as long as you practice your rotation, you're fine. Is this a good enough laptop? Stretching my neck. Ugh. An AMD Athlon Silver 2.4. It would probably play at a minimum settings. Probably. How do you think this fight would go? What do you mean think? We all know how this fight went. Oh, sorry. Never mind. That's a good question. Xenos versus... I can't remember his goddamn name. I'm just going to call him Odin. That would be a good fight, actually. Now that I think about it, that would be a good fight. In terms of who would win? In terms of power levels? I'd probably... Xenos is just a naturally gifted combatant as well, so I think they're both evenly matched. I think it would come down to power levels in the end. I'm not going to give an answer. It's going to annoy me if I give an answer. Item rewards from story mode. Why do you... Oh, okay, so they probably skipped it to be with a friend or something. What healing used to look like in A Realm Reborn? Okay, oh, I remember. Good times. The good old days. Wait, nothing's happening.
Mega player.
Oh, they have a thing. Barnabas, thank you, Daisy. This is a great fight. I love this fight. Doing this in A Realm Reborn, I should lower it down. Doing this fight in A Realm Reborn was probably one of my most vivid memories. I never used triggers or anything else like this. AMD was still in its infancy. I never used triggers though. I didn't need triggers for this, to be perfectly honest. It's a great fight nonetheless. Well, she's not in the final phase yet, is she? No, she's not. She's well out. Oh, she's only started the fight. Yeah, because you have to drop the donut. Oh, the... What did we used to call them? The pancakes. She has to drop the pancakes first. And then you had to run out. It was a different playstyle back then, do you know that? It was such a different playstyle.
Holy shit, holy shit.
It says like holy shit, holy shit. Hang on.
Holy shit, holy shit.
Holy shit, holy shit. I'm assuming that's holy shit, we're in trouble. Oh yeah, I remember that. I was all like, home gang. I can see Mr. Happy in the park. Oh, he is, yeah. I wonder if that's him though. But this, don't forget, this is probably long before he was actually Mr. Happy. He's Mr. Happy here, but this is probably long before he actually made his YouTube channel and everything else. I think I remember this name, Death and Taxes. Although Death and Taxes is a very common name in MMORPGs. But yeah, I remember this fight very well, particularly when we cleared it and we were all screaming. Primarily because then it was like, A Realm Reborn is now over for us. That said, my group went back to do Savage, primarily because Savage was new, so we did the second coil after this. Do it! Yeah! It's a good time. I remember that. That time was good. I miss those days. I don't think I recorded stuff from back then. What's my oldest content? Because I recorded a few of my kill videos from back in the day. My funny Christmas map run. Yeah, this is when I started putting stuff on an actual YouTube channel. Byakko Extreme Kill. Sigma Escape. Yeah, so this is Stormblood. What Lalafels have to live with. I think this was my first edit video. Making taking the piss out of Eureka Pagos. I want to watch that again just for the laughs, actually.
Boxy Mobile Superfast 5G is so fast!
Oh, that's enough coffee for you.
It's coming! It's coming! It's coming! Get on the train!
When most people sat in by the Aetherite watching fucking Netflix, everybody else is getting these fates sorted out, and then the fates spawn and they all run out looking for it.
Get on the train! Get to my office.
Oh.
Oh, just what I thought! People are scared of the
And then the shout chat starts up, they're like, looking for more, looking for more.
Oh, just what I thought!
Get on the train. That was good. That was my first edit video. Well, aside from these were just recordings, but that was my first one to actually just add stuff in like that to attempt to make a video. I think my first joke video was this one. Yeah. My first attempt to be funny. Jesus, I was very I didn't even consider making a YouTube channel at this point. I just did it for the laughs. Oh god. It's so cringe when I watch it.
Holy Jesus!
Oh god, I can't listen to this. It's so horrible. Oh, fucking crickets. Yeah, that's what happens when you fail. I just did it. I failed it for the laugh, and I was shocked about the reaction at the end. I was just like, okay, interesting. Yeah, I think that's my first FF14 video where it's actually me talking about it. So yeah, so that's definitely my first one.
How are you all? Wyrm here.
How we all were.
If you were to compare raiding in A Realm Reborn to raids you see today, you'd see a great many differences. In this video...
Do you notice how my speech impediment isn't there? Because I'm talking in my normal accent.
We'll be going over what raiding was like in the first raid of A Realm Reborn. The Binding Coil of Bahamut. The Binding Coil of Bahamut, also known as BCOB, was the first raid featured in FF14 upon its re-release in 2.0.
Yeah, so this, I think this was like the first weeks of lockdown in 2020. That's when I started my channel. And that was one of my first videos. But I made videos for 3 different games at this point. So I made it for EVE Online, Final Fantasy 14, and PlanetSide 2. And then eventually I settled into just making videos for Final Fantasy 14. But it's nice to look back at stuff like that. Like, I did cringe videos as well. Like, I did stuff that was very... what you consider crappy behavior or cringy behavior. Like, look at this one, for example. This is a very cringy video of me killing people in probably a way that would be very annoying to the people getting killed. With remote control missiles. It's probably the most scummy way you can ever kill a person in PlanetSide 2. It was one of those missiles. But it was my first kind of montage video, because I never made one before. And to be honest, most of these kills were kill steals. But to be honest, I had fun doing that. I think I spent like 2 hours just farming kills with that. And to be honest, it's a very unique way of killing people as well, especially if they're out of your line of sight. And you can do it from the safety of a place where snipers can't hit you. And I hit that person in the head, which is why they died. But that's an example of content I used to make 4 years ago. Oh, it doesn't feel like 4 years ago. It's like 5 years ago now. But imagine there, just seeing that missile coming at you and you're like, oh shit. And it moves so slow. Like, that got hit like 10 times. I'm proud of that shot now, to be honest. It's just so... it's so cringy. Oh, it was so cringy. Oh, blew my missile, of course. Yeah, I remember that. I was like, I'm gonna get him, I'm gonna get him. And then your missile just like... Ugh. But still, it's good to look back at stuff like that. How I did things back then. I remember I played Maple Story 2 6 years ago. I remember that. Anybody remember Maple Story 2? I remember just doing this and we were annoying people on these new mounts that we got. I bet they regretted adding that mount in, because as soon as they added it, we were just like doing all this. I missed that game, to be honest. That game was fun. It was a nice distraction, to be honest, especially because this was what do we call it? I was still playing FF14 at the time, but it was a nice, like, a little side game to play, and I play side games all the time, to be honest. So, oh yeah, that's my first kind of documentary video, the hanging guy. So, do you know the guy who always hanging off the side of buildings and stuff like that? So, I made that video as well. That was probably my most popular EVE Online video.
Howdy everyone, Wyrm here. I wasn't planning to log into EVE today, but the moment I saw the article regarding the new Fallen Encapsulators Memorial Monument, I knew I needed to log in to pay my respects.
So essentially what this video was is, like, everybody knows what EVE Online is, but EVE Online always had a player driven graveyard where they always drop a can for every player that died in real life, but they actually added a proper monument in 2020. So I decided to go visit it, and I made a video about it and discussing a bunch of different things as well. but it's kind of surreal thing to see when you're in that system and you see all those cans and each can represents a person. Because I can remember people who died as well. Oh, that fucking video as well. Speaking of videos I'm proud of that video. So I'm really proud of this one.
This video contains and pushed to the brink by this.
I'm very proud of this one. The early life of Xenos, because it's a subject that's not explored at all in game. Like a couple of things are mentioned, but for the most part it's all encyclopedia and just some side knowledge. So it took a while for me to script this one and to make a proper video out of it. But that's something actually to think about as well. Let me go back to 4 or 5 years ago, right? So I have the videos here and I'm starting to churn out videos. So what I was doing is I was churning out like one video every 3 days. So every 3 days I'd make a video, and then over the next 3 days I'd make another video, put it out. Another 3 days, make another video, put that out. Although it was a mixture of a lot of different things which are technically not allowed as well, like doing music OSTs with exploring different areas. How to do the custom deliveries for hook fishing and cloud weeds and stuff like that. Like, it was a bunch of random videos to be on. And there's a bunch of different topics. Like, most of them didn't really get any traction at all. But my channel was only like 50 or 100 subscribers at the time. So, but it's just an example of how my content was actually created back then. And I created all these videos just in the space of a couple of days. Then eventually I got to a point where I started making videos once a week, because 3 days just started feeling really, yeah, it was too much, to be honest. And as I started getting more experience, I started putting more effort into my videos. So 3 days wasn't enough to make a properly quality video. So I started stretching out to 1 week, then I stretched out to 2 weeks, and then eventually I came to a point that I said, the video will be ready when it's ready, which is the point I'm at now. But my first series is this one, my FF14 class lore videos. And I made a video for every class in FF14. So the Gladiators, the Conjurers, and they were a regular feature in my channel. And I made more and more of these videos as time went on. So you got the Lancer, Thaumaturge, all the way down to the other classes. And the videos I made back then were pretty unique as well. Like, the Armor's FF14, finding a raid group in Final Fantasy 14. I don't know why. I made a lot of guide videos back then as well. I did a lot of catch-up videos as well. Endwalker expansion. Oh, I remember this. I remember how pissed people were. Do you remember this?
How y'all were.
Do you remember how pissed people were the moment they announced that the expansion was delayed? Because most people had actually booked their time off, myself included. But luckily, I work for an employer where it's easy enough to change my time off. But having it released at that point there, and then with the whatchamacallit, the raids coming over Christmas and stuff like that as well, was, or rather the New Year and stuff like that as well. A lot of people were annoyed. Like, it was a gutsy move for Square Enix to make, but they did it, and it was the right thing to do. The thing just wasn't ready. If it's not ready, it's not ready. Players were naturally pissed. Primarily, players were pissed because of booking time off. So, it's understandable. So, it is what it is. But looking back at a lot of these events, oh, yeah. Here's content I don't make anymore.
Guys, look at this right now. Look at how many people are here. It's just you can't even load them all.
So,
oh my god, Robin Astor.
yeah, that's the reason this video is still up. So this video is still up is because it doesn't contain any copyrighted songs from a famous artist or anything else like that. I used to make content like this a lot. Like, my channel was actually filled at the beginning with videos about live events, like the Moonlight Music events and random player events that were created. But I stopped making them primarily because...
Oh yeah, Wyrm here. I'm back again.
I'm back again. Age of Empires. Yeah, so the music that's playing didn't set off the YouTube algorithm in order to block my channel in this video anyway. But the other videos that were created, which I recorded these events going on, got my channel nearly deleted. I got 2 copyright strikes from these videos because I've mentioned this like a dozen times to everybody already, but when I made these videos, the music that's playing there, like, if you listen to this, and if you've played Age of Empires before, it sounds like so legit, doesn't it? It sounds like the original. But that's the issue. The instruments are actually so good that they can trigger the YouTube algorithm to make it think it's actually the song. And that's the trouble I got into. So I uploaded so many of these different events that were playing copyrighted songs. And the YouTube algorithm, it struck a couple of the videos first. Then I got a copyright strike. Then I got a second copyright strike. And at that point, I am freaking out because I thought I was going to lose my channel. So I deleted the other videos when I started seeing this, just to stop the bleeding. And it worked. So I didn't lose the channel. So I got rid of the rest of those videos. But I spent the next 6 months waiting out those copyright strikes, because if I get one more copyright strike, 3 strikes and you're out, as they say. And one more copyright strike would have caused my channel to be blocked or sealed off or deleted or whatever. So I spent the next 6 months living under a rock, making nothing but FF14 videos with FF14 music and no player events. And by the time those 6 months are over, I did go back to try and record these in-game events because I knew it would only happen again. So I didn't really focus on player-driven events anymore. Oh God! See, that's a song that I think that's open for everybody to use, that song in particular, which is why it's playing there. Oh God. I think this one's unlisted.
The following video.
Is it unlisted? No, it's not unlisted. I'm hesitant to bring this video up. And I'll tell you why. So,
the following video contains would gain fame the world.
Right, I'm just going to bring it up. Screw it. I'm just going to bring it up. Whew. Why am I doing this to myself? So, actually, it's fine now. Do you know that? It's fine now because Susan Calloway has dug her own grave in that regard. So, I made this video almost 3 years ago as a Susan Calloway in FF14, documenting her journey through FF14. And I documented the beginning of her career as well, and I documented her interactions with Square Enix and shows like Distant Worlds and other things like that. Now, I thought I did a very good job of it. I tried to be as objective as I could. I went over her entire history of her own music, then the music of FF14, and then I went into the critical part of it. And I tried to be as fair as possible. I didn't make any of it up. It wasn't an attack on Susan Calloway either. I essentially did the research. I looked at Twitter, I looked at Facebook, I looked at Reddit, I looked at how everybody felt about Susan Calloway. And I made a video based on that information. It wasn't my own opinion. It was just an overall how the community felt about it. And the community was half and half at this point. Half the community loved her. The other half was kind of... Well, most of them loved her. There was a... 25% of them were kind of like meh. And the other 25 were just meh. Again, hate it. Now,
by Square Enix or Susan regarding them parting ways.
I reached out to her as well and got an email response from her. And I used that in the video. Now, she took great offense to me making this video. So I've never actually talked to this outside of my own social circle. I talked to my friends in the FedEU and stuff like that about it, but I'll talk to you about it now. So I started talking, well, I reached out to Susan Calloway before I made the video, and I told her I was making the video, and I told her exactly what kind of video I was making. I was making a video about her that would be objective as well. And as far as I could see, she was fine with it. Now, I reached out to her email, which was listed on her website, by the way, as susan@susancalloway.com or something like that. So I reached out to her and got a response claiming to be Susan. And the response I got seemed to be indicative of the fact that it was Susan Calloway who responded to me. And she was happy to respond to me. And she gave me some information about why she wasn't doing content for FF14 anymore. And that's what I made this video about. So you're free to watch this video if you want. But when I made this video, finished it, published it, I got a fair amount of backlash in this video from a lot of players. And I assume a lot of people who are big fans of Susan Calloway. Now, the first backlash I got was from Susan Calloway's, I don't know what you call it. I assume you'd call it her media representative or her manager, who told me that they manage her email, and they were offended by the fact that I reached out to Susan Calloway directly rather than reaching out to her. And I'm like, okay, wait a second. I went to susancalloway.com, looked for an email contact, and it was like susan@susancalloway.com or something like that, and I reached out to that. There's no problem with me doing that. Why is it listed publicly on a publicly shown website if I'm not allowed to contact it? The fact that Susan replied to it and you didn't is not my fault. That's more your fault for not monitoring the email, essentially. Like, I don't know why they were blaming me. I reached out to a publicly available email. But essentially, Susan Calloway then started to take real offense to the video itself. And she asked me to take the video down. Now, to be fair, I tried to be as fair as possible in this video.
Official response from Square Enix. The flaming or negative posting about any person. My video isn't about this. Which left the community to start drawing their own conclusions. Now, before I continue, I do not support the flaming or negative posting about any person. My video isn't about this either. It's merely to answer the question of why, based on community discussions and actions, my own queries with fellow players and fans, as well as that of Square Enix and Susan Calloway.
And that's exactly what I did. I made that video. But Susan came back to me in a very negative manner and asked me to take down the video. Then she came back to me again and threatened me with legal action if I didn't take down the video. So she came back to me saying she was disappointed about the video. Then she came back to me right after saying that, again, she was disappointed. And she wanted me to take the video down, and if I didn't take it down within a certain amount of time, she was going to sue me. And immediately, like, I'm not a lawyer, but I know my rights. I know nothing's going to be made of this. This is a threat. This is essentially just her threatening me to take the video down. And you know what? I didn't want the drama. And the fact of the matter is, I was getting hounded by other people as well, because they didn't like the fact that I was talking, or they didn't like I was shedding a light on Susan Calloway. So I started getting a lot of negative impact. So, do you know what? I decided I will respect your wishes, because the video is about Susan, and I'll take the video down. She was also very offended about the fact that I was using content that she considered to be hers. In particular, you see this clip here of her singing A Song of Distant Worlds. She was claiming ownership of that and the other songs. She said I didn't ask for authorization to use them, or authorization about a interview she did with Fox News a number of years ago. And I was like, I didn't say this to her, but I was like, you don't have ownership over them. You're singing them, yeah, but singing a song doesn't give you ownership over it. If anything, the copyright belongs to Nobuo Uematsu and Square Enix, not you. You're singing the song. But you singing a song that's available on YouTube, and I downloaded it from YouTube, doesn't give you ownership of it. But I didn't want any drama. I respected her decision. She was disappointed, naturally. Or not naturally. I don't understand why she was so disappointed about this. And I broached this with her anyway. But either way. I respected her wishes and I took the video down. Well, I didn't take the video down. I made it private. Which is essentially the same as taking the video down. And essentially it ended there. So she reached out to me right after when I messaged her back saying, I understand, I respect your wishes. I don't like the fact that this is happening. However, I will respect your wishes considering the fact that the video is about you. Even though I'm not obligated to do it, I will take the video down. So I respected her wishes. I didn't mean her any ill will, and I never meant her any ill will in making the video in the first place. I greatly respected Susan Calloway. I'd met her multiple times. I liked how she sung. But I took the video down. Then she came back to me saying that she regretted that it all had to come to this and she hopes that this doesn't deter me from working with her in the future. And I'm like, that's not going to happen. You essentially threatened legal action against me for making a YouTube video about you. And I'm not the only one that made a YouTube video about her. But long story short, I took the video down and that was the end of it. The people who are deeply devoted to her disappeared as well. They didn't come back at me anymore. There was a lot of positive comments, but there was a lot of negative comments from the people who were, I'm assuming they're her fan base, essentially. Now, I'm of the opinion, based on the dialogue or the contact I had with Susan Calloway. Now, keep this in mind. There's somebody managing her mailbox as well. So I don't know whether or not the person I was talking to, because don't forget, the person who was supposed to be her public manager or whoever it was, her communications manager or something like that, reached out to me and told me it was an offense to do such and such. So as far as I was aware, the following emails were from Susan Calloway. I have no reason to think they weren't. But it's entirely possible it might have been the manager as well. Because the manager got into trouble not long after this, FYI. Like, you remember the trouble with Susan Calloway a couple of years ago. But I digress. Where was I? Yeah. So, I am of the opinion that after the video came out, right? And I got a lot of the negative comments about it. Susan started to hear about these negative aspects of my video. And based on her email that she sent me when she was threatening the legal action or asking me to take the video down and stuff like that, she was cherry picking parts of the video, which made me think that she didn't watch the video at all. Rather, she was sent timestamps of the video and she watched the video entirely out of context. So it's like her reading a report on like a war zone, or maybe a report of a battle that just happened, and they're reading a single paragraph out of it, which makes it sound like worse than it actually is. I think that's what happened with this. She didn't watch my video, but she got sent timestamps or clips of it, which made me out to be the asshole. Now, if you looked at my video and you started from here, it would look like an attack on her. So after I said that this wasn't an attack and I did her entire history, if you look from this point onwards, yes, out of context like that, it would look like an attack on Susan Calloway. But it wasn't that. I just wanted to answer the question. And yeah, essentially that was it. That was the last I heard about it. After the video was privated and the last communications came from Susan Calloway, I didn't hear from her. I didn't hear from her communications manager or anybody else related to her after that. People were surprised I took the video down. I even made a communications post about it. I could probably show you that, actually. Do you know? It's probably in my community post. Give me a second. So this was years ago. I'd say this was almost 3 years ago. But let me look at my community post for a second. I don't think I can filter by... Can I filter by... Hang on. No, I can't, can I? Because it only loads particular ones. Then again, I don't make many community posts, so it's entirely possible I might be able to find this thing. Which will tell you exactly what I said. So yeah, it would have been 2-3 years ago when I took the video down. I made a post about it, just stating that she reached out to me. No, it's not that, not that, not that. Give me a second, I'll find it, I'll find it. God, it's hard going. Alright, that's 3 years ago, so I've gone too far. 2 years, 2 years, 2 years. It should be around here. Right, that's a status update when I had the flu. Nope, 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 nope. Nope, nope. I don't know where it is. It's showing a lot of the same comments over and over again. I can't find it. Maybe I can do it in my studio. Give me a second. If I look in my studio at my posts. So if I go to content, posts. If I filter by the word Susan. So if I show 50 per page, no matching filters for Susan? I'm fairly certain I made a post about this. Sorry, I'll stop spending so much time actually looking for this damn comment. I've already told you everything about it anyway. I don't know where it is. Maybe I deleted it. Maybe. Perhaps. Perhaps I did delete it. I don't know. Either way. Alright, I can't find it. But yeah. So was there problems with other Distant Worlds concerts? No, essentially what the problem is. So to TLDR the entire thing, right? It's described in this video. So if you want to watch this video, it's still on my channel. So go ahead and watch it. Because I took it down, or it was private for so long, it's not really recommended to people anymore. But essentially what it is, Susan Calloway was picked to perform in Distant Worlds by Nobuo Uematsu. Nobuo Uematsu had seen her perform at some point in the past. I can't remember exactly where it was. And he was very impressed with her, and he decided that he wanted her to sing the Final Fantasy music at Distant Worlds that was coming up. And this was her introduction to Square Enix and Final Fantasy. She continues to be a regular at Distant Worlds at this point, so she continues to sing some of the popular songs from Final Fantasy. Sukadi na Dane, she sang that. So,
her career,
like for example, Distant Worlds in Chicago. I think I spelled Chicago there. Did I spell that right? I don't know. At 2009, so she's been involved with the Final Fantasy for a long time. Okay, I'm French and I went to the concert in Lyon and I filmed the Sephiroth concert. I hope you won't get any problems. Gaspard, don't worry about it, to be honest. I think this is more Susan than anything else. She's claiming copyright on stuff like this, which doesn't even belong to her. I'm trying not to be aggressive. Kiss Me Goodbye, again, singing at another Distant Worlds. So she's been involved with Distant Worlds for a long time, and she was picked by Nobuyu Uematsu to sing these songs. Now, when the subject of Final Fantasy XIV came around, Nobuyu Uematsu picked her to sing Answers. And this is where she got involved with Final Fantasy XIV. Now, she continued to be a main... Now, from Final Fantasy XIV 1.0 and 2.0 onwards, the main musical leads for the game are Nobuyu Uematsu and Masayoshi Soken, both of them together. So it started with Nobuyu Uematsu, then Masayoshi Soken was in the background, and then he came to be at the fore, and they both worked on it together, and then Nobu stepped back, and it's been Masayoshi Soken ever since. Now, this is where Susan dropped out of the picture. And to the best of my knowledge, the reason is for, and in her own words, actually, I say this as well. It's in her own words. So, essentially, her reason for thinking that, well, essentially what happened is, Stormblood was her last song. After Stormblood, Shadowbringer song came out, and it was Amanda Akin. Now, this is an important thing, is because after Stormblood, it's all Masayoshi Soken. Nobuyu Uematsu is no longer involved. It's all Masayoshi Soken. Now, you see, Susan Calloway has, or rather had, the relationship with Final Fantasy and Square Enix through Nobuyu Uematsu. He's the one who picked her, don't forget. After he came out of the picture, it's all Masayoshi Soken, and Soken decided not to go with her for whatever reason. Susan Calloway herself admitted that she doesn't know why she wasn't picked for Shadowbringers. But she did she did speculate on why it wasn't. Now, she speculated this to me. This is not public knowledge. She never said this on anything else. The reason that she thought that she wasn't picked to continue after Stormblood is because she didn't have the same relationship with Masayoshi Soken that she had with Nobuyu Uematsu. And don't forget, Nobuyu Uematsu is no longer in the picture at this point. He's stepped back. So Soken and Susan don't have this relationship, and Soken just decided he wanted to go with Amanda Akin for whatever reason. And the rest, of course, is history. Now, we all expected Susan Calloway to come back for Endwalker because Answers and Hydaelyn, but she didn't. It was Amanda again. And Answers was remixed. And it was still Susan Calloway's Answers, but it was remixed for the Hydaelyn fight. But that was essentially the end of Susan Calloway's involvement with Final Fantasy, and the reason was for the lack of a relationship with Soken. That's the primary reason why she's not involved in it anymore. I don't know why it is. She doesn't even know why it is. Is it because Soken doesn't like her? I don't know. We can't speculate on the man's intentions. Soken's a wonderful person, but I'm not going to speculate on what he thought about her. Now, as we know, Susan Calloway got herself dropped into hot water about a year after I made this video. So a year after I made this video, and after I made it private at her request, Susan Calloway got dropped into boiling water because of some scathing comments that came up on Twitter or Facebook or whatever. And then everybody started coming out of the woodwork in regards to Susan Calloway. Now, Susan Calloway stepped away from Final Fantasy. Well, essentially what happened was the comments that she made on Twitter or Facebook or whatever came out. Then the backlash started from the FF14 and Final Fantasy community in general and everybody else. Then KupoCon, I think, or one of the other side Final Fantasy events, cancelled her participation in the event. They just decided that due to reasons that she wasn't going to participate anymore. And this was on the event side, not her side, or maybe she cancelled. I don't know. Nobody knows, to be honest. And then we all wondered whether or not she'd actually drop out the calendar for Distant Worlds, because we saw in the calendar, I remember looking at the calendar, because the moment this all came up, because of my history with Susan Calloway, everybody started recommending it to me, and I started doing my own research. So I started looking at the Distant Worlds calendar that was coming up. And the Distant Worlds calendar, as all of this stuff was exploding on social media, she was still on the calendar for the upcoming Distant Worlds to sing Answers in Distant Worlds in North America. Now, it was still that way for about a week after everything was blown up, and it was still pretty hot at this point. And then there was no announcement from Square Enix, but her name was taken off the card for on the Distant Worlds website to say that she was singing, and Answer disappeared as well. So they just decided to take Answers off it entirely and have nobody sing it. And the other answers that would probably, or the other songs that would have a vocalist, they just went for a different vocalist entirely. And eventually, Answers would come back onto the Distant Worlds card and stuff like that, and be sung by Amanda Akin. And the rest, as we know, is history. So essentially, given everything that happened, and due to the comments that she made whenever it was made, and for whatever else reasons, Square Enix essentially cut all ties with Susan Calloway. And Susan Calloway also cut all ties with Final Fantasy. She deleted all references to Final Fantasy from her social media pages, from her personal website, and she doesn't advertise that she's even involved with Final Fantasy anymore. So she's cut herself from this community, and Square Enix has cut herself off from her. And this happened a couple of years ago, and the rest is history. So both sides went their separate ways, and that's it. And it was at that point as well, the moment Square Enix cut ties with her, the moment I noticed that she was removed from Distant Worlds, is when I put this video back to public from private. And I just left it there. And I can notice by the views, it's barely gotten any views from the 1.5 years ago that I actually put it back to normal. So it doesn't get recommended or anything else like this, but I decided to just put it back up because, do you know what? Yeah, you did all this stuff, and you know what? This was actually a good video, so I'm just going to put it back up. I haven't heard back from her regarding this, so she never came back to me after this. Whoever I think her communications manager was also part of this as well. So he was apparently an asshole or something like that. He's the guy who started messaging me, just going, why did you message Susan directly and stuff like that, you know? So I already had a bad relationship with that person, so it is what it is. But yeah, that's Susan Calloway in a nutshell. But yeah, of all the videos I've uploaded, this one definitely caused the most drama. But that's the story of the entirety of the drama surrounding her, me, and yeah, this video. I can remember after I made this video and after I made it private, and she sent that last email to say, alright, we're going, I hope we can work together in the future. I hope this doesn't deter you from working together with me in the future. And I'm like, I didn't answer her. I just decided not to answer her again. But I was always so nervous about meeting her again. So whenever a meet and greet came up, I didn't go to it. Because I didn't want to see her. Just in case she ended up recognizing who I was. Because I wasn't hiding my face at this point. I never did hide my face. And I just didn't want an awkward interaction with her. So yeah, that was funny. But yeah, if you ever get the chance, I'd say watch this video. It's a good video. And it's a good critic of Susan Calloway, in my opinion. I go over a lot of different things that she... It's like, a lot of it's not speculative. Like, I speculate a tiny bit, but I mentioned that I am speculating before I do it. But it is based on all the research I did. Like, she did a lot of things... yeah, you could probably... There's probably a lot of videos online regarding Susan Calloway's downfall. Not only this. I put this video after all of that came up, but I think every Final Fantasy XIV content creator latched onto this, and other content creators did as well. But what was I saying? Yeah, in the process, like, I researched everything about this video to answer the one question: why she wasn't participating in Distant Worlds or Final Fantasy she was participating in Distant Worlds, sorry. Why she wasn't singing in Final Fantasy XIV anymore after Stormblood. So I went to seek to answer that question. Yeah, I'm running out of storage. Too many screenshots, unfortunately. They all go into my OneDrive. But I wanted to answer that question, so I did my due diligence and I did my research. Now, apparently I didn't do enough due diligence because I didn't find the dirt that she posted on her social medias years ago that ended up coming up and biting her in the bum. So I never found that. But I didn't look back years, to be perfectly honest. I was mainly looking on her interactions from the past year before I made the video. And like some people who have probably seen her Facebook or her Twitter posts will probably understand what I'm about to say. But she had a penchant for recommending her own works inside Final Fantasy spaces. Now what I mean by that is, I can probably go to the timeline in the comments, you know? So,
of why, based on announcements, as well as that of Square Enix community, there is a majority that loves Susan's vocals in the theme songs. But at the same time, she has her detractors. Many felt that Susan's vocal ability had peaked when it came to new theme songs.
yeah, I didn't believe that either.
14. This even extended to live
That's my recording, so I was in the queue with her.
event.
I was in the queue, wait, do you know what? I was in the queue more to meet Benjamin, do you know that? Benjamin Nuss is my favorite pianist. You might recognize Benjamin Nuss. He's performed at a couple of... he's performed at FanFest, and he's performed at other Final Fantasy related events as well. He's my favorite pianist. We've met a couple of times, and I've been a member of his Discord as well. So I've been a fan of his on YouTube as well. He's a great guy. I love meeting him. But I mainly did this so I could meet him.
solo career first, rather than the performance that she just made.
But yeah, essentially, here's the crux of it, right?
Susan would regularly speak about her solo career in interactions with others, even when the subject was FF14.
Now, what I mean by that, or I'll probably bring it up here.
This even extended to live event meet and greets, where she would discuss her solo career first, rather than the performance that she just made.
Now, what I mean by that is, you see the way these people are all here, meeting and greeting with her. Now, when I met her, at this point here, I didn't get this sort of mad interaction with her. It was just, I think I was the one that actually brought up her career. And at the same time, I brought up Benjamin's career. Do you know that? Because I've been listening to Benjamin's other works. And I brought up some of the music that he made with his brother Ludwig. And I brought up some of Susan's other songs as well, because I did listen to them as well. I tried listening to some of them as well. I knew what their names were, like Chasing the Sun and stuff like that. So I personally did bring them up. But based upon testimony from members of the Final Fantasy community, members of the Fan Events Discord, importantly, because the members of the Fan Events Discord are people who all go to FanFest. So they interact with Susan at these events. But the crux of it is, when you're talking to her, it didn't happen to everybody, but it happened with a fair few people. You'd be talking to her, but she'd start talking about herself and her own works rather than, like, she's most famous for Answers, we know that. So, but she doesn't talk about Answers, or Heaven's Ward, or Stormblood. She doesn't talk about Dragon Song or anything else like that. She'll talk about her own work, her own personal stuff and what she's doing, and asking if you bought her CDs and stuff like that. Shilling her merch, essentially. This, I'm not making it up either. This came from interviews I did with a lot of people. I interviewed a lot of people in the FedEU and other people around the FF14 community, and a lot of them said the same thing. And these things were posted on social medias and stuff like that as well. And you'll see as well
that she just made,
that she does it in other circles as well. See this one here, like, I have a new store. Come check out all the cool goodies. New items added weekly. The Susan anime is available on tote bags, hats, mousepad, and merch. And she tagged FF14, Final Fantasy, alongside her own hashtags, essentially. She did this a lot. She would shill her own merch in spaces that had nothing to do with her own merch. Like, yeah, she's involved with Final Fantasy, sure, but you don't see Amanda Akin doing that. You don't see Benjamin Nuss doing that. You don't see Jason Charles Miller doing that, or anybody else doing that. They're not doing that. She did that. She did that a lot. And this, I brought this up. Like, from my perspective, I'm like, I don't really care. if she does that stuff. Like, but apparently a lot of people did. And for a lot of people, her posting this sort of stuff with hashtag FF14 or Final Fantasy rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, because they didn't want to see stuff like that. It had nothing to do with Final Fantasy, aside from the fact that she performs in Distant Worlds and Final Fantasy songs, but it had nothing to do with those. She was just selling her own merchandise and advertising her own brand. I mean, everybody's entitled to advertise their own stuff as well, but the Final Fantasy community didn't react too well, or certain elements of the community did not react well to what she was posting. A lot of the people I interviewed were also the same. They didn't react well to this. And they didn't react well to the fact that she was talking about herself more than just engaging with the people she was talking to. So, one story in particular from a friend of mine. I won't mention her name, but she knows who she is. Essentially, she went to a meet and greet with... It was essentially like... I'll show you. It's that meet and greet. So you can see me, Susan Calloway, Masayoshi Soken, and Naoki Yoshida. And this is at the Final Fantasy Orchestra. It's the first Eorzean Symphony in 2018 in Dortmund. Well, it wasn't the first orchestra, but it was the first European one. I'm not going to be able to get this back on the wall, am I? Come on, be on the wall. There you go, don't fall down. Please don't fall down. But yeah, that is the meet and greet after the Eorzean Symphony. So I went to see her. I was the second last person to see her. I was at the back of the queue. But a lot of my friends and a lot of other people were ahead of me. But a lot of people, not only my friends, reported that as you're meeting, when you're meeting them, essentially you're face to face with all three of them, and all three of them are talking to you, and you're trying to talk to particular people. Because you're there for certain people. You're either there for Susan, you're there for Soken, or you're there for UCP. Some people, and one friend in particular, was trying to talk to Soken or Yoshi-P, and Susan kept butting in. Like, she talked to Susan as well, but when she was trying to talk, like, she talked to Susan first, then she was trying to talk to the other people, and Susan kept butting in, or interfering, rather than let her get two words out. So, she rubbed a lot of people the wrong way as a result of stuff like this. So, yeah, this is where a lot of the negative things about Susan started to come out. But it wasn't until her indecent posts were made, or her... I don't know what the posts were, to be honest. I can't remember what the posts were. It was some sort of... I don't remember, to be honest. Whatever it was offensive enough to get her cancelled, essentially. But to be honest, she was doing a good job of that herself. Like, she's a nice person, I think. Like, she was a nice enough person whenever I met her. So I never saw any of this. Like, I was getting this from other people. I'd met her 3 times at that point, and I'd never had a negative interaction with her. So I met her at the symphony. I met her at Frankfurt, and then I met her in Paris. I'd never had a negative interaction with her. When I met her with Benjamin, she didn't butt in. That's right, Christopher. Thank you for that. Yeah, she did a bunch of those comments, and then she was hacked. The classic claim, I was hacked. I think that's where her communications guy came in. You know that? A lot of people were blaming him or her. The same person who ended up messaging out to me, pissed at the fact that I didn't go to them first. But yeah, that's where it all came from as well. But yeah, it's ancient history now, so this is all done. But that's essentially just what I wanted to bring up in regards to that and why that ended up the way it was. It was pretty bad. But yeah, my video ended up being rather justified after all was said and done.
But I could see how such actions would paint you in a negative light, especially in today's
I was
social
proud of this
media
video,
landscape.
to be honest. I thought I
As an
did it very well.
example,
And I thought I respected her
It would be like being in...
I never said I was gonna... I told her this as well. I said I wasn't gonna lie. I said I wasn't gonna make a fluff piece or anything. I didn't say it exactly like that, but I said I wasn't gonna make a fluff piece. I said I was gonna answer a question and I was gonna answer it in any way I could. And as I said, this wasn't an attack. I was neutral the entire time.
For FF4.
But I definitely think, I'm most likely to think she watched this video entirely out of context because she was linked clips of the video.
And a person keeps user of social media, so my opinion is pretty speculative. As some of you know, I'm the admin of a Discord called FF14 Fan Events Discord EU. It's a community dedicated to FF14 players, and ensuring anybody attending live events like FanFest or Distant Worlds always has someone they can attend with. As a result, we attend many of the events that Susan also performs at.
I miss you guys.
You get to meet with a lot of people at these events.
My friendos, and my familia. I miss you all. I can't wait to see them all again.
Many of them would meet and greet with Susan and the other performers. I spoke to many people at these events, and some felt Susan was putting herself forward a bit much and hijacking conversations, even when the person was focused on somebody else. Now, this is just word of mouth I heard during and after these events. I myself interacted with Susan at these events.
Back when I had my hair there. My hairline was disappearing for the winter though.
And never picked up on any of this. I had very positive interactions with her every time.
Yeah, I had zero issue with her at all.
Developers and support staff of FF14 are very in tune with their players. So if the players pick up on something they don't like, it usually won't be long before they know about it.
It's true.
Many speculate that Susan's actions over the last few years could have tainted relations between her and FF14, which would explain her not appearing in FF14 again, but still performing at the likes of Distant Worlds.
Until the crap came up, essentially. But yeah, I'd say go watch that video at some point. You'll learn a bit about her, and then you'll learn essentially what I researched. I'd say if you don't want to learn about her early career, just watch the second half of the video, because that's when I go into detective mode, essentially. It was my first detective video, so I was pretty proud of it in that regard, and it blew up. The moment I posted it, it went viral, and it blew up. It got 98% of those views within like a week or two, so it did blow up. But I am still proud of that video. I was before everything happened, but still. But you know what? I think I'll leave it there. I think I've talked a bit too much, but I was happy to talk. And I need to get back to work. Well, I'm going to go to sleep now in a minute. But I think I'm going to go back to work on my video first thing in the morning. I am 90% done with my video. So my video is nearly completed, or the script for my video is almost completed. I'm not going to say what the subject is yet, but I'm finishing the last portion of it. Then I'm going to do a proofread and kind of like streamline it a little bit. Otherwise, it's probably going to end up being 40 minutes long, and I don't want it to be 40 minutes long. It's probably justifiably 40 minutes long, but I don't want to do that. Why isn't this thing shutting down? But yeah, so that is that. Jeez, there's a lot of videos on my channel. I'm still waiting for Geomancer. Thanks, Irene. I appreciate that. My new video will come out, and as I said, it's the script for this. This video is unique in that the scripting is taking a lot longer. But once the script is done, it'll take me literally no time at all to edit the video and start it from scratch. Like recording it will take a while. I have to edit that, but that won't take too long to record the editing. Other than that, the video creation itself won't take too long. I don't know why that's still here. It hasn't gotten me banned, so it obviously wasn't one of the videos that got me in trouble. So. But I made a lot of theory videos back in the day, like what's Leon up to? We still don't know really what happened to Leon. We know he's wandering around somewhere, and I still think he's going to be related to. If we ever get Beastmaster, it's going to be him. I was proud of that one as well. I picked out correctly that Xenos is going to be a size wielder before anybody realized it, based on the sound of the blade he used. And then we got the Reaper. I liked making that thumbnail. That thumbnail was funny. But other than that, nothing else I really need to say. All the other videos I did. And are we the last true warrior of light? The answer is yes, we are, because there's going to be no others chosen after us. They'll get the title, but they won't get the blessing. Status of Garlemald. I remember that video didn't take too long at all, actually. Gosetsu the healer. Good times. I'm not a fan of this. I'm not proud of this video. I tried to be this video in particular. I tried to be sarcastic and showing pictures of my face being sarcastic, but I don't pull off our sarcastic being very well. I'm not that funny. So I'm not particularly proud of this video, to be perfectly honest. So I am proud of this one, the Truth of Carton now, because there were so many questions about this one. So I'm proud of that video. All of my guesses were incorrect for new jobs, but you never know. 8.0 might be right. There's good old Susan herself. The other scions, the good old other scions. And that's pretty much it. Like, the rest of my videos are my recent ones where, yeah, I put a lot of work into these ones now, to be honest. So this is when I started getting much more serious about the videos I was making, and I started taking longer to make. So, and I'm proud of these videos. Like, the Ultimate Project one was really good. The Eorzea and the Ultron War is a video I really enjoyed making.
Welcome to America.
I really enjoyed exploring this subject, especially because it's a subject that's not covered in game. So I enjoyed actually trying to recreate it and trying to make it based on Kings and Generals, which is a channel I really love watching. But either way, I think I'm just going to leave it there. So everybody, have a very good rest of your weekend and be sure to get to sleep early. And hopefully I should have news about my video very soon, but it's going to be ready when it's ready, essentially. So I'm not going to rush. But otherwise, thank you for joining me, and I wish you a very good night, and have a good one.